for taking care of your vehicle. Schedule your Saturday appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The best version of you starts with a good night's sleep. More energy, more patience, better focus. When sleep suffers, everything else usually does too. I'm Brandon Giggling, president of Parkway Sleep Health Centers. At Parkway, we make getting answers easier with convenient home sleep studies and appointments within weeks, not months, because better sleep changes everything.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
Labor Day deals are looking good at Lowe's. Save $10 on 1-gallon cans and $50 on 5-gallon pails of select interior paint via rebate. Plus, get 2 2.5-quart or 3-quart mums for just $8. A fresh look and savings? Even better. Labor Day deals are on now at Lowe's, in-store and online. Valid through 9/9. While supplies last. Mum sizes vary by location and exclude Alaska and Hawaii. See store at Lowe's.com for more details.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WREL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's hot out there this afternoon with a high of 90, and the humidity is definitely higher than the last several days. Afternoon and evening storms with the potential for a few isolated heavy downpours. 72 tonight and tomorrow. The storms will be more widespread in the afternoon and evening. Highs cooler in the mid-80s.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 64 points to 53,528.
Deep left corner of the end zone! Jalen Coker hauls it in for a touchdown!
Off the back iron!
Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home!
Copeland jabs on him a couple of times. Step back three-pointer, left corner, swish.
One dribble out for Boozer for 3! Big time! And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL! They won the 2026 Stanley Cup!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. One day closer to week 0. One day closer to real NFL football. Sneaking up on you, one day closer to NHL hockey. Exactly today to Tour Championship. A lot going on. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing. This is also going on. It's The Drive on 99.9 The Fan, and it starts with the Big 3 at 3.
Number 1.
Big 3 at 3 presented by Maynard Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. MaynorServices.com. MAYNOR Services.com. 2 days to week 0. I guess 2 days to the games of week 0. We're in week 0, which means 2 days to Carolina versus TCU in Dublin, Ireland, Saturday noon. Carolina's already – they're out in Ireland. And some of the practice footage, they're getting Ireland. It's misty. It's cloudy. It's the borderlands out there. It's exactly what you hope for, right? Like if you go to Seattle, you want to bring an umbrella. You know what I mean? If you go to Ireland, you're going to want Ireland weather. And that's what they're practicing in. Hopefully they don't get it for the game, right? Experience it in practice and, be able to air it out during the game. But they're out there. State UVA in Charlottesville. That's Saturday at 3:30, all a part of the Week 0 slate. I do, just to broaden our scope a bit, looking at the Carolina-TCU game, sometimes, right, it's like everybody's so involved with their own problems that you don't realize, like everybody's got their own thing going on. I'm so used to just going on social media and having somebody tell me how much drama is off the field for Carolina, that it was, I don't know if it's pleasant, because it's not, but it was a different feeling when I went on social media yesterday and I saw all the off-the-field drama coming from TCU. Yeah. Turns out somebody else can create some distractions away from the field.
Okay, what'd they do?
Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram tweeted out that TCU has banned the entire Star-Telegram staff and pulled their credentials over reporting of a locker room assault that resulted in a case filing with TCU campus police. Stephen Johnson was the writer that did the reporting. He's been told that the decision stemmed from the victim receiving threats after the reporting, but according to Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Stephen never identified the victim until the victim made a public statement on his Instagram about the assault 3 days after the initial reporting. Now, I mean, assault's being filed with the campus police. Serious stuff, right? Like that's, you're probably taking off like your sports journalism hat and you're getting to your straight big J, capital J journalism stuff. If the way it's being presented online, TCU probably needs to be shamed into giving the Star-Telegram's credentials back, which you're seeing quite a bit of. But if there's an assault in the locker room that's being reported to campus and now they're trying to control the story in this way as their team is going out to Ireland to play, now we're talking about two teams. One has a GM that's on paid administrative leave. One has something going on with the credentialing of a major periodical. Like Star-Telegram is not a small Fort Worth establishment. Both teams may have to work on a little compartmentalizing. Hey, I know that so-and-so is involved in whatever. We need to make sure we get our heads on straight and play football. So perhaps equal playing field in that respect for a little bit. To ignore the seriousness of both matters, which you shouldn't do, but we're a sports show, and relate it just to what's going on in the sports field. Both teams have their distractions. Again, you get caught up, staring in just what's going on with you. This is like, as if I'm the one that should be giving life lessons. Kind of a life lesson, right? You get so caught up looking at your own problems, you don't realize everybody's got something going on. Everybody's got their bugaboos. On the other side, back on this side of the pond, NC State at UVA, Saturday, 3:30. I do think I agree with Dave Doran on this one. He was asked about opening with an ACC game this season. His response was, I'm still trying to figure out why we're playing conference games to open the season. I guess it's for TV. It's unique. I'm not sure I'd put my hand up to do it again. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I don't think you want to do it again. The reason, and he knows this, right? It was supposed to be a showcase game in Brazil, and that's why you wanted a big game to be in Brazil. And then it got moved to Charlottesville, and now it does feel like a weirdly out-of-place big ACC game to open the season.
Yeah, especially since the ACC went from 8 in-conference games to 9. It's like, well, there it is.
It's. I'm sure State would like to have, and probably more so even than UVA because of the experience levels we've talked about. UVA just has so many more veterans. I'm sure State would love to have a couple of non-conference games to figure themselves out and make sure all the chemistry is there before you walk into what might be the biggest ACC game on your schedule. Top 2 if you're looking at kind of expectations for the season between that and Louisville. Obviously removing rivalries and things. But that's where they are, right? Dave Doran is as good at it as anybody, but he'll tell you straight to your face, right? It might not be what we would choose, but you got to figure out a way to get through it and thrive anyway. So that's their challenge going into week 0. And we are in week 0. That's number 1. How about number 2?
Number 2.
Panthers get the day off. They have a intense physical joint practice yesterday with the Houston Texans. They'll be playing them in a preseason game tomorrow, this being the lull between those two opportunities. Have we got an official word on whether the starters are going to play or not on Friday?
Canales said yesterday starters weren't playing.
Okay. I assumed that because of how physical it was yesterday.
So he said that he and D'Amico Ryans, the Houston Texans head coach, kind of agreed upon early that the starters would get a majority of the reps in the joint practice. The starters probably get about 75% of the reps in practice on Wednesday.
So here's the quandary I found myself in about yesterday's joint practice. Extremely physical, right? It was both teams, and probably that's part of the reason why, right? The coaches both agreed, like, hey, let's get after it here, and the preseason game will be a different decision. The Panthers, particularly on offense, got pushed around a little bit, really by two guys as far as players that aren't usually pushed around. The interior of the offensive line had their issues, but they've had their issues. The tackles, they got the business end of Daniil Hunter and Will Anderson. This goes against a lot of what I've said, which is why I consider it a quandary. No fights?
Yeah, everyone was kind of cool.
Did you want one?
Nah, we've had enough of them already.
I think you do.
Do you?
I think if your quarterback is having a hard time getting passes off because your offensive line is getting beat that quickly, and Houston put out a clip, by the way, of Daniil Hunter. I mean, it was quick. It was 1, 2, 3 steps, and oh no, it was quick. I think you need a mean guy, right? I think you need your if we're not going to be able to keep up with them between the whistles, we're going to do it after, since it's a practice.
You Brady Kachuk? Like
kind of. Like the best football teams I've been around had somebody that will cross lines to make sure your team's not getting pushed around. Like they would have 1 or 2 guys on the offense, 1 or 2 guys on the defense that would ensure that your coach isn't kind of joking about the 2 guys that dominated practice after. Right? Why didn't our offense get going? I got 2 words for you. Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. Actually, that's 4 words. Like there's a couple psychos on every good team that are going to go, my coach isn't making that joke. And I don't know who that would be on the Panthers offense, because it really can't be Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis with the injuries they're coming off of and their importance. And it can't really be the tackles, because they've got their own hands full because they're brand new and figuring it out. I don't know. There's every good offensive line that I can recall, there's one guy who's like, yeah, he's a little crazy, but he's our crazy. And he has our back. I don't know. I didn't see it. We'll see if it shows up. That is number 2. How about number 3?
Number 3.
The Tour Championship is underway down there at Eastlake Golf Club in Atlanta. Who knows how much longer the Tour Championship's been there for a while. But with all the changes coming up in the next couple years, the Tour Championship is potentially on the move to different spots around the country. So enjoy it while it's going on. A couple of guys with local ties. Now, keep in mind, these are all going to sound like they're doing well because there's only 30 players that qualify for the Tour Championship. And normally, if you're in the top 20, you're like, goodness, you're playing good golf this week. But top 20 out of 30 is a little bit different than top 20 out of 140. You know what I mean? But there are a couple guys up there in the top 5 that we pay attention to around here. Ryan Gerard played his college golf at UNC. He's in a tie for 5th right now, 3 under par. Along with him, Akshay Bhatia, guy that calls the triangle home. Alex Smalley played at Duke, tied for 12th, along with Alex Fitzpatrick, played at Wake Forest. They're 2 under par. The leader, by the way, is Min Woo Lee up at 7 under, so he's kind of 2 strokes clear of everybody. And then there's There's something going on with Cameron Young, although he did get a stroke back. Last I checked, he was 3 over par through 5, so he birdied the 6th to get to 2 over par, but he is in 29th, out of 29, because J.J. Spawn did go ahead and withdraw. So this is not good. Cameron Young is one of the 6 best golfers in the PGA Tour this year, if you're looking at the entirety of his season. Right now, he's the only player over par of the 29 that are playing today in the Tour Championship, and he's 2 over par, and a second ago, he was 3 over par. So we'll see how that goes. But Ryan Gerard and Akshay Bhatia have the chance for, career-changing contention if they get up there and win or finish in the top 3 of a tournament like the Tour Championship. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We will be back with the latest, the ongoing saga of eligibility in college sports. Carolina fans were so upset Seth Trimble was going to be playing for Louisville, to which we ask the question now, you sure about that? Stick around.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
Your team deserves better than a boring holiday party.
Rush Hour Karting has high-speed racing, axe throwing, scratch-made food, private rooms, and more. Everything you need, one destination. And right now, you can save up to 30% when you book by August 31st. The bigger the event, the bigger the savings. Book it. Pay the deposit. Party when you want.
Does not apply to currently booked events. Minimum purchase requirements.
Rush Hour Karting. 20 years of serious adult fun. RHKFun.com.
Discover the thrill of precision and elegance with Omega at Bailey's Fine Jewelry. From the depths of the ocean to the heights of space, Omega's Seamaster and Speedmaster collections are crafted for those who dare to explore. With a heritage rooted in innovation and a timeless style inspired by sports, space, and cinematic legends, Omega is the gift for every adventurer. Find your perfect watch at Bailey's Fine Jewelry in Raleigh's Village District. Voted best jeweler. Learn more at baileybox.com.
Just take one bite. You're going to love it. Hey, my name is Ezekiel, a team member at my local Chick-fil-A. And the little thing I love about the new Chick-fil-A chicken and waffles is that I can enjoy it all day. It's the perfect combination of sweet and savory. The chicken, it was juicy, crispy, and all around it tasted amazing. The waffle is fluffy, and the syrup makes it 10 times better. You can have it for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Chicken and waffles is definitely the way to go.
Order chicken and waffles at your local Chick-fil-A restaurant. Menu switches from breakfast to lunch at 10:30 a.m. Real team member paid for their testimonial.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
You got the touch. You got the power. Yeah!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dennis, I assume Transformers music's not random. Is there something going on here?
No, R.I.P. to Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime.
I didn't know that.
Passed away today.
Goodness.
We had Dolly Parton a couple days ago. You had Tim Curry yesterday. Now Peter Cullen? Come on.
I was unaware of that.
This is actually directly from the 1986 Transformers movie itself. Sound effects and everything.
Here's something fairly interesting.
One shall stand, one shall fall. Why throw away your life so recklessly? That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
It's got to have confused so many kids throughout the years, just breaking out that voice like in an elevator, when like at a amusement park or something. Just, how did that work? Here's something interesting for you, Dennis. Ray Petkow, who is an NHL agent, I assume the agent of Connor Hellebuck, has tweeted out officially a statement from Connor Hellebuck.
Okay.
Which thanks Winnipeg, but several months ago it says, and there's, wishy-washy, I love Winnipeg stuff. Several months ago, I privately requested a trade. I've tried to handle the situation quietly and respectfully while giving the organization time to explore its options. with training camp approaching, I felt it was important to publicly confirm my request.
Okay.
My position has not changed, and I believe moving on is the best path forward for me and my family, and then back to wishy-washy stuff about the Jets and the fans and everything. So Connor Hellebuck, pretty good goaltender.
Carolina reportedly going after him.
Trying to use that leverage and going, okay, if you're not going to listen, I'll use my leverage even more and going public with it.
Also, apparently, we should be expecting the Cale Makar extension with the Colorado Avalanche very soon.
I did see that as well. They are nearing a? Is that the official wording?
Closing in.
Closing in. That was it. You're right. Closing in. It's all they have the thesaurus from NFL draft weekend when the insiders were told not to tip picks. So instead, it was just the Chiefs are zeroing in on.
Yeah,
they are
highly considering.
Yeah, exactly. So Cale Makar highly considering accepting the millions and millions of dollars they're trying to give him. Highly zeroing in on, whatever you want to call it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's talk eligibility in college sports, shall we? It used to be simple. Now I need a whiteboard. I need a graph. I need a choose your own adventure book. Okay, how old are you? Flip to page 9 if you're 19. Okay, 19. Have you played professionally in Europe? Yes. Okay, flip to 25. And it's absolutely, and a flow chart might work. Few things. Carolina Tar Heel fans, when they received the news that Seth Trimble was committing to Louisville, I think there was a lot of conflicted emotions, right? There was a lot of, I get the program moved on. I get Michael Malone starting a new thing. They didn't know that Seth Trimble was going to have eligibility. But then there was also that's your brain, right? That's the logical side of you. Then you had the heart side of you that just went, I don't want to see him wearing another jersey. He's a Tar Heel for life. He hit that shot against Duke. Can't wear red in the ACC? Well, guess what? He might not. But if you ask me tomorrow, he might. If you ask me the next day, he might not. The Courier-Journal in Louisville, another well-known newspaper out there, I was clicking around looking to see how all of these recent court cases and appeals and overturns impacted Seth Trimble, and I just kind of stumbled into their a preview for Louisville basketball, and they pretty much wrote 2 previews. It was, if Seth Trimble is eligible, here's what the starting lineup could look like. Here's what he brings to the floor. Here's how his skill set meshes with the rest of this guy's skill set. And then they did the whole exercise. If Seth Trimble is not eligible, here's how they could make up for, the expected production. And here's who could slide into those minutes. And I was like, everyone's having to do the flow chart. Everyone's going to have to pick their own adventure. Will Seth Trimble be eligible to play basketball this year in the ACC? Do you know what my official answer is? Who knows? That's as accurate as I can get for you. Right now, the federal case has been overturned, okay? So there's no blanket rule for everybody in the class, the high school class of 2022, right? There's no, hey, everybody applies for this same deal. But there is the opportunity for states to decide who is and is not available. So right now, the most important part on whether you are eligible to play or not is what state was your lawsuit filed in? Not what state are you attempting to play in. It was what state is your lawsuit filed in. Okay? So as of, this was, things change quickly. But as of last night, when I was trying my best to come up with all the research here, Carolina's Cameron Fenns, the player, the 7-footer that came in recently on the 5-for-5 eligibility tip, was not eligible when I was checking last night because his lawsuit was filed in Tennessee, which Tennessee had said while the appeals process goes on, players will not be eligible. But NC State's Van Allen Lubin, who regained his eligibility on the same 5-for-5 tip, is eligible because his lawsuit was filed in Texas, which was still being upheld at the time I checked yesterday. there's no difference logically on why one of their eligibilities should be enforced and why one shouldn't be enforced. The only difference is two guys that were going to play in the state of North Carolina filed their lawsuits or were a part of lawsuits that were filed in two different states elsewhere. So Seth Trimble did not have a state lawsuit. He was using the national lawsuit to become eligible. He has since begun the process in Kentucky, which is where Louisville obviously is, but that doesn't have to be, right? He could go find a reason to be in another state. I say all of that to say this. We've lost the plot. We have entirely lost plot. Oh, and then, of course, how could I forget the other big part? The other thing is, what conference are they trying to play in? Because the Big Ten and the SEC have said, if you sign a contract with a professional team, if you declare for the draft and don't withdraw, if you are on a roster for a professional team, you do not get to play in our conference. Kind of. It doesn't mean if you sign a professional contract, you can't play in the SEC or the Big Ten. It means if you're not from Europe and you haven't been playing professional for a while now, then you can't go sign a professional contract and come over and play. That's how ridiculous this is. If a player signed a two-way contract and was playing for an NBA team or on an NBA contract, a G League contract for 10 days and never appeared in a game with them, the Big 12 in their most recent decision is saying that player cannot come play for the Big 12. However, if a European player starts playing professional basketball in Europe at the age of 16 and plays 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and then decides after, 7 years of professional basketball that they want to come over and cash an NIL check and play in the Big 12, they will allow it. As long as it is within the 5 years that begins for a European player when they turn 19. Bruh. They could play a couple years in that scenario, actually, because they're going to be under 19 for 2 seasons there, depending on when their birthday is. We've lost the plot because now none of the decisions on eligibility are being made by gathering the information that eligibility should be based on. It's being based on where were you born. It's being based on who gave you the money, when did they give you the money, rather than did you accept the money. I'm fine with saying professionals, once you sign a professional contract, you can't play in the NCAA. But then guess what? Once you sign a professional contract, you can't play in the NCAA. It can't be that professional contract's okay. That one's all right. That one's a problem. That one's okay. That one's not. Well, hold on. Was it a verbal agreement? Did you sign the contract? Did I see you on a roster? Seth Trimble might be eligible. He might not. Then Alan Lubin might be eligible. He might not. We could go on and on down the list. All of these guys might be eligible. They might not. What coaches have to decide is whether the juice is worth the squeeze. Is the player you are trying to fight for and wait for to become eligible worth the disruption that it may cause to your roster if he doesn't become eligible? Is the risk worth the reward worth the risk? I think Seth Trimble's pretty darn good. I think Louisville will look at it as worth the risk. I don't know where that line draws on some of these guys or where that line is drawn on some of these guys.
Yeah, there's just so much uncertainty because you also factor in that school is started or has started for a lot of places, or at least freshmen have reported to campus. So school has either already begun or is getting underway. So I have to make sure that I'm enrolled in order to be eligible to play. It's just there's just such a mess. It's like, okay, well, am I getting a scholarship that covers my 5th year of school, or how's that work?
I imagine they're getting scholarships regardless.
Maybe
because I'm in class. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm in class hoping, and what are they going to do? They said you're ineligible. Those 6 weeks of papers you turned in, just leave the class, right? Like you can't have that. I don't know. I don't know. All I know is this. I don't like it. That's really what it comes down to. I don't like it. I want to, when we start talking basketball, and we will, obviously, we're in the mecca of college basketball, I really would like to just be talking about matchups and which players have taken the next step, right? Can this guy mesh with this guy that they got out of the transfer portal, and what do the coaches think of this? And like that's what's fun about college sports. Not are they going to get their latest big money guy out of the portal? Which judge is hearing the case? Which lawyer is representing him? I've had my opportunities to cover like community court cases. I didn't enjoy it. I worked really hard to get to a job that's not /news, right? It's not sports /news. Now it's just sports, yet I'm still here talking about judges.
By the way, 6 weeks from now is when we have ACC tip-off.
I mean, that's awesome. But
I just hope we have resolution by then.
Well, I was going to say, think of how much craziness can happen in football in the next week.
Yeah.
Because, by week 1 starting, how much craziness can happen. Now make it 6, make it basketball, and then add the entire preseason after that. Because, ACC kickoff isn't like games start the next day, right? They still have camp and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Goodness. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on and we head to the Dean's List, Dennis Cox has a message for you.
I do. Dennis Cox here real quick with my good friends over at Law Tigers. Something I've always stressed to people when they're out there on the road as a motorcycle rider is always make sure you're wearing the proper equipment. I know on days like today where it's sticky, it's humid out, you still can make sure that you wear the proper equipment and proper gear to make sure you're protected when you're out there on the road. They make plenty of manufacturers out there that offer hot weather gear for you to wear that still protects you. So have all the armor that you need. I've had plenty of times where I've been riding down the road and all of a sudden a little pebble or a little rock kicks up. If I wasn't wearing a full helmet, like a full face covering helmet, that would have popped me right in the teeth. That's not good. So make sure you do all that you can to protect yourself out there on the road. But if you can do all the right things, that's obviously going to give you the best chance of being safe. But that doesn't guarantee that you're always going to be safe. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you contact the folks at Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. Even before you get in touch with the insurance company, your case evaluation with Law Tigers, it's always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, the Dean's List. Speaking of all that college sports we love so much, we'll focus on the good parts of it next.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. We do it all. In fact, we see patients within 48 hours for everything from sports injuries, spine care, and joint replacement to minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, pediatrics, and more. Visit us today at wakemed.org and get back your life.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now, save on what you crave. Get a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, medium fries, and medium Coke for just $8. That's one unbeatable deal. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with a purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-791-0000. That's 800-791-0000.
This hour of the drive brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan on a Thursday. At the top of the Tour Championship, top 5, Alex Smalley moved up there, Duke golfer. So now there's 3 with local ties they're all tied for 5th, so kind of in the top 5. But they're all 3 under par. It's Alex Smalley played at Duke. Ryan Gerard played at UNC. Akshay Bhatia lives in the Triangle. And they are all, as I said, 3 under par and a tie for 5th. Leader at 7 under par. That's Minwoo Lee. And just from a patriotic standpoint, we need to get rolling here because right now 3 of the top 4 are from Australia. We can't have one country hitting us like that in Atlanta. I mean, it's being played in Georgia. We got a Coca-Cola and baseball, right? Ty Cobb. We got to get the win. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Let's fire up one of our favorite segments. We call it the Dean's List. Dean's List, where we highlight those in the college sports world that deserve a little extra praise. And we have another preseason award watch list. A lot of these awards watch lists are telling me it's like the whatever number annual, like they've been around for a long time. I'm learning about them for the first time, quite a bit of them. My social media feed is like, oh, you like watch lists. Here you go. But I have 3 players to add to the Dean's List because they are on the 2026 Hispanic College Football Player of the Year Award watch list. And they all play for teams that we cover. For Duke, defensive lineman, a transfer from Dartmouth, Dakota Quinones. I apologize if I mispronounce any of these. I'm doing my best. NC State linebacker, a transfer from Miami, Popo Aguirre. And Wake Forest, a wide receiver who is a returnee to Wake Forest from last year but did start his career at Washington State, Carlos Hernandez. All 3 of them are on the Hispanic College Football Player of the Year Award watch list. All have to be pretty darn good for their team as well. Being depended upon. More Dean's List. I guess we put Mitch Griffiths. Mitch Griffiths has been named as the East Carolina starting quarterback. If you're going Mitch Griffiths, where do I know that from? Well, what was it, 3 years ago? We were at ACC kickoff when he was named the starting quarterback for Wake Forest.
Yeah.
And we spoke with him at ACC kickoff and didn't hold on to that job for too long. I'm gonna take you. By the way, he beat out Emory Williams, who was the presumed favorite to win that starting job at ECU most of the offseason. Emory Williams came from Miami. Here's Griffiths' career arc. Went to Wake Forest out of high school. Played 4 seasons of football for Wake Forest. Transferred to Marshall, or announced he was transferring to Marshall. Then decided to step away from the game of football. Took a year off. Then decided he was going to come back and play football. Transferred to Texas Tech. He was on Texas Tech last year. Now, he transfers to ECU. Appeared as if it was going to be the backup to Emory Williams. He wins the job. He will be the starter at ECU. And happy early birthday. He's about 2 weeks from turning 25.
All right.
He's about a month and a half younger than Bryce Young. So if they're going to let you play forever, I guess. Once the 5-for-5 stuff hits, this is actually probably a good argument for the lawyers. If players like him are grandfathered into being allowed to operate within the eligibility of before 5-for-5, obviously it's all just arbitrary, right? So why not let guys keep playing? Doesn't make any sense to me. Dennis, do you have any Dean's List you'd like to throw out here?
Well, I do. It kind of ties in with Mitch Griffiths. It's Dave Clawson, former Wake Forest head football coach. He recruited Mitch Griffiths. He recruited Billy Edwards Jr., who's the starting quarterback at Carolina, and also the Iowa starting quarterback, Jeremy Hecklinski.
You can identify him.
Yeah, Dave Clawson. Sorry, a big shout out to Connor O'Neill of Deacon's Den, as well as Deacon's Illustrated, and as well as Devil's Illustrated, I should say. My apologies. But he's one that pointed it out, and I was like, that's kind of impressive. You have 3 guys that he recruited, Dave Clawson, that are starting for other places.
That's going to happen more and more in college sports where, like, you have a picture of a running back room from 4 years ago, and it's just like, them facing the other way with the names on the back of their jerseys, and it's just going to be like, that guy's in the NFL, that guy's starting over there, that guy's a backup at that school, that none of them are going to be at the school that they were at because the transfer portal's so darn active. More Dean's List. How about this? We're not just highlighting sports. Time Magazine put out their list of America's best colleges for 2026-2027. To highlight, I'm going to read their explanation of what they're judging. To highlight U.S. institutions that provide the best value for their students. Time partnered with data research firm Statista in an inaugural edition of America's Best Colleges of 2026-2027, ranking the colleges that excel at student outcomes, learning environment, and attractiveness to students. It's a value proposition, okay? Not just best school.
Okay.
It's how much they cost and then best school.
All right.
First of all, ACC occupying the number 1 spot.
Let's go.
Stanford.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it's...
That tracks.
Yep. Of the schools we cover, top UNC Chapel Hill.
What'd they come in at, right?
18th.
Okay.
Then, we don't really cover them as much, but they're in the state. Davidson, number 37.
Yeah, shout out to the Wildcats, baby. Let's go. Let's go, Wildcats.
Duke, number 40.
Yeah, Davidson above Duke.
Davidson above Duke. NC State, 71.
Okay.
Wake Forest, 100.
Hey, top 100, baby. Let's go.
ECU, 338. UNC Charlotte, 434. Which you may be like, why are you highlighting them? Well, how about this? They did a top 500 list. There were 42 FBS schools, so schools that have FBS football, that did not make the top 500 at all.
Huh.
So just being on, it's just nice to be nominated. It's just nice to be amongst my peers. Delaware was 61. I was, let's go.
Where's Shenandoah on that list?
I can tell.
Probably not.
I was going to say I can find you during the break. I'm not going to just put them on blast. There were some teams with some football teams in the state of North Carolina that did not make the list. But we don't have to. You can probably.
Let's go, Davidson, baby. Let's go.
It does not appear as if Shenandoah is on the list.
That's fine.
There are some that I've never heard of that are pretty high up there, though. Claremont McKenna College.
Okay.
In California is number 9.
Yeah, Southern California.
Never even heard of them. I have heard this name. I know a few people that went there, but Harvey Mudd's number 3.
Mm-hmm. That's also in Southern California.
Yeah.
So Claremont
is number 9.
Claremont.
So if you want the top 10, just quickly here, since we're talking about it. Stanford 1, MIT 2, Harvey Mudd 3, Princeton 4, Michigan 5, Cal Institute of Technology 6, UPenn 7, Columbia 8, Claremont McKenna 9, and Harvard 10.
So Claremont McKenna and Harvey Mudd, and there's another school, it's something Scripps, but they actually combined to form one athletic department, Claremont Mudd Scripps.
Cool.
So they actually combined because those schools are smaller, they're landlocked. So for them to actually fill athletic departments, and they're also in such close proximity that they actually combine to have one athletic department. Same with Pomona and Pitzer down in Southern California as well.
In Hawaii, there are high schools that do that.
Yeah.
They call them Pac-5 because they packed 5 of them together.
You have one more Dean's List?
Sure.
The ESPN ticker on college football games. I don't know if you saw this or not, but on college football games this upcoming season, the ticker that you see on the bottom that has all the scores and news and notes and all that stuff on the bottom, that's going away during college football games on ESPN.
Are you happy or sad?
Kind of sad.
I'm here's my overthinking it. We do have our phones right in front of us. If I want to score, I do just go to the app.
I understand, but I want to have my phone put away at times.
I'm wondering if I'm going to, like, I'm wondering if we maybe have gotten distracted by the ticker without knowing it, where, like, we might not be, because if I'm watching and then they're like, all right, well, let me just check all these scores, and, like, 3 plays might pass, right? Because you're just watching the ticker. I'm wondering if I'm not going to see more of the game. I would like to try it. I don't want to sign off on it being a good thing, but I would like to see it. You know what's the most annoying thing?
What's that?
Around Christmas time, my wife decorates. She's big into decorations, and she puts, like, garland along the bottom of the TV.
Oh, yeah.
Can't see the ticker, can't see the score bug, can't see. It's just, I'm just living blind out there. It's like the 1970s. Just, is it a first down? Who knows? We'll never know.
How much time's left?
No clue.
Doesn't matter.
But it looks festive. Are we in the trust tree? Can I say something?
Sure.
And you not make fun of me?
Yeah.
We have Halloween decorations up at our house.
Now?
Yep. You promised. You said it was the trust tree.
Bruh.
You promised.
I didn't say anything.
I didn't put them up. I did aid in putting the bins back in the attic after they were emptied. But yeah, we got ghosts and goblins and boo and all that kind of stuff.
Haven't even hit Labor Day yet. Let alone October.
Correct. I'm not denying any of it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Yeah, let's go ahead and dismiss. Direct all complaints about, like, the order of the calendar to my wife. It's her doing it. But I can tell you this. Even if my house looks like it's fall, it is still summer, which means it is still hot outside, which means I still want my cooling system running perfectly inside that house. And that's why I call Maynard Service Company. Tim Donnelly here for Maynard Service Company. And whether it becomes fall, when it absolutely will at some point become fall. If the weather starts dropping, I want my heating system to run appropriately as well. Maynard Service Company can take care of that. And all times of the year, I want my plumbing to run correctly. Maynard Service Company can take care of that. Same thing goes with the electrical work in your house, which, by the way, late August, it's a great time to start thinking about heating maintenance. Get your heater checked out, right? Don't wait till it's a problem. Get it checked out now. See if there's any small fixes, any tune-ups, anything going on to make sure you avoid the bigger problems when it's 30 degrees outside and you don't want to have those bigger problems with your heating system. So yes, if something breaks, if your cooling system is making a funny sound, call up Maynard Service Company. But if you want to get ahead of the problems, you can also call up and set up some heating system maintenance or just a service check. The number to call for Maynard Service Company is 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993, or visit them online at maynardservices.com. Up next, we talked with Riley Fields, the Director of Community Relations for the Carolina Panthers, about an upcoming high school sports event being held at the home of the Panthers. That conversation next.
It's time to celebrate Global Golf Raleigh's anniversary sale August 24th to the 29th. Save $50 off purchases of $300 and $125 on $600. Plus pre-owned Vokey wedges starting at $89.99 and take 20% off golf bags. Also get a huge 50% trade-in bonus towards your next upgrade. Visit the Global Golf Outlet at 7320 ACC Boulevard in North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf. Some exclusions apply. In-store offers only.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. We do it all. In fact, we see patients within 48 hours for everything from sports injuries, spine care, and joint replacement to minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, pediatrics, and more. Visit us today at wakemed.org and get back your life.
I'm glad you agreed to this date, Mr. First Tuesday.
Oh, me too, but I have to admit something. I've never been on a first date.
But you are a date, and first is in your name.
Yeah, I guess I've just been married to my work, you know? Spreading the news about new scratch-offs coming out every first Tuesday.
New scratch-offs release every first Tuesday?
Wait, you don't know about new scratch-off tickets that come out the Okay. Well, okay. You got me.
Must be 18 to play.
Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Rev up your summer at the Make This the Summer event going on now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Grab summer adventures when you drive home a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 for 20% off. Excludes RHO. See dealer for details. Or expand your options for off-road exploration with a new 2026 Jeep Gladiator. Save 15% off during the Make This the Summer event. Plus, get 2.9% financing for 72 months. So get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan continues with, I think we can officially call him a friend of the show, making his second appearance. It's Riley Fields, Director of Community Relations for the Carolina Panthers. Riley, first of all, thank you for the time. Let's not waste time. The Keep Pounding High School Classic presented by Belk. Give us the details. What is this, and why are high school sports fans in the state of North Carolina so excited for it?
Yeah, Tim, thanks. It's honestly just one of our absolute favorite days of the year. The Keep Pounding High School Classic presented by Belk. It's our signature high school football event each season. This year, a doubleheader that will be played Saturday, August 29th. So this Saturday at Bank of America Stadium. And game one features the Indian Land Warriors versus the Northwestern Trojans out of South Carolina. And then at 8 o'clock, what a matchup. We've got the defending 8A state champion Huff Huskies being challenged by the Cardinal Gibbons Crusaders, who, obviously have their own sights set on a state title this year. So really a battle of North Carolina superpowers.
It's a great event, promoting high school sports. We'll talk about it. But how do you choose the teams? You have two state champions, two semifinal teams. I mean, you touched on it. These are some heavyweights. How do they earn their way into this competition?
So, there's the College Football Playoff Selection Committee, which certainly there's like, I hear that there's drama and tension around that. That does not hold a candle to the Keep Pounding High School Classic Selection Committee, which convenes each year in January, February. We actually we put out an RFP, a request for proposals. If you're a school that wants to play, wants to be considered, we have a form that schools fill out. Tell us all about you, why you would be a great candidate. And then the robust debate goes on from there. And so we're just really, really pleased that we were able to arrange this intersectional matchup between two elite programs that are at the top of their game right now.
We're talking with Riley Fields, Director of Community Relations for the Carolina Panthers, all about the Keep Pounding High School Classic presented by Belk. Some of the details, which you've already heard, but I'll repeat. Saturday, that's this Saturday, August 29th, 4 p.m. Indian Land against Northwestern, and then at 8 p.m. Cardinal Gibbons versus Huff. These are high school football matchups in Bank of America Stadium, which, Riley, I want to talk about, right? As somebody that played high school football, did they get the full razzle-dazzle of being on an NFL field? Because just playing like where so many legends have played is pretty darn cool for a high school kid.
I love that you asked that question, because the really our North Compass on this event is the experience. We talk about it all the time, the experience for the teams, for the fans, for the high school football community. It's really an opportunity for us to celebrate high school football and the important role that it plays in communities across our region. But I think that as a player, this experience actually has been going on for months for these teams. When we did surprise reveals back in the spring, we held a press conference here at Bank of America Stadium back in late spring, then invited the teams back in for production day in June, in which they got to shoot the same type of put them on the big stage when we shoot content for the Panthers for that's going to roll back on in stadium on game day. We brought the high school teams in to shoot the exact same type of video, so that's going to show up in stadium on game day. You'll also see it hitting on social, and then the game itself. And the day we lean into this hard, and we love it, and we love the experience that it's going to create for, again, the players, the fans, and the high school football community. And so we throw the whole kitchen sink at this thing, and we just it's a labor of love, and we cannot wait till Saturday night.
I was excited just to be on the field. That's kind of where I was going, but based on my interactions with high schoolers, you get a new profile picture. That might be a bigger deal.
Yeah, I mean, it starts from the moment the kids get off the bus, the moment the fans step into the stadium, all the things. And one of our favorite moments is going to when the team step into the locker room and see their locker room presentation. When they do the tunnel walk to the tunnel before they even go out on the field, what that experience is going to be like. All the things. And for fans, we've got a lot of great, really great elements built into the game. And I think as a high school football fan, obviously we're high school football zealots, but the way that fans are going to be able to enjoy the game here at the stadium, we'll have up on the Panther Vision screen, you're going to get replays, and not just one replay. You're going to get multiple camera angles of replays, and just the way the game is presented, it's really done NFL style, and we think that makes it really fun for kids and fans.
Riley Fields, Director of Community Relations for the Carolina Panthers, here talking on the drive about Keep Pounding, the Keep Pounding High School Classic presented by Belk. Riley, obviously, now that I know the full razzle dazzle is going out to the players.
Yeah. Yes.
Why? That's an investment, right? That's a lot of people working. Yes. That's a lot of man hours.
Yes.
Why is it so important to the Carolina Panthers and Tepper Sports and everybody involved to promote high school football that way?
Yeah, it gives. I'll go back to what I said at the beginning in terms of it's an opportunity organizationally for us to celebrate the game of high school football and the important role it plays in communities across the region. I mean, we talk about that all the time, and supporting football at the grassroots level is a responsibility that certainly we take great pride in, and being able to create a stage, a platform to lift up high school football and all the great things about it. It's important, and the role that high school football just even plays within a school's culture is so important. And so it really means a great deal having the full support of David and Nicole Tepper. You referenced it. There are a lot of people that are putting in a lot of time to make the experience what it's going to be on Saturday night. And that's really what's fun for us, is seeing how everybody in the building gets behind this. And, there's I think one of the most coveted pieces of apparel in the building is the Keep Pounding High School Classic quarter zip, which are limited and special issue, and you have one or you don't, and the folks that don't, there's that just speaks to how big it is in the building, because people just want the quarter zip, because of their attachment to the game. But I did want to just make sure share some key information about tickets for folks. Really looking for a strong showing from the Raleigh community and the Cardinal Gibbons family to come to the stadium on Saturday. Tickets are $8 plus Ticketmaster fees, so only $8 on Ticketmaster. And tickets are good for both games. So we think we've priced it to make it affordable for the high school football fan. And again, that's part of the experience that we've built in. But if you want to talk about the Gibbons Huff game, I'm here to do it.
All right, well, let's do a little bit of it then. That's a headliner. I was able to see a Cardinal Gibbons scrimmage around here that defense is something. How do you see that one playing out?
Yeah, I think you hit on it. It's going to be about the defense because Gibbons' defense is super stout. Huff's defense is ridiculously stout, and I think something's going to have to give. Huff this past Saturday played Northwestern, who's also is interesting enough is in the other game in the Keep Pounding High School Classic, but Northwestern certainly a two-time defending state champion that is at the top of their game, and that game could have gone either way. And the thing that struck me, Huff ended up winning 15-10, so not really a big offensive output on either side, even though both schools have had a lot of talent. The thing that was interesting to me was Huff's defense, one which sacked Xavier Means from Northwestern, who is an electric quarterback, 12 times, so put a lot of pressure on them. But at the same time, they had over 15 penalties. They had a punt blocked. They had a field goal blocked. There was just a lot for them to clean up. And I will say if they make similar mistakes against Cardinal Gibbons, Coach Wright is going to make them pay. And so I think that's what's going to be really interesting because that Gibbons is going to come in dialed in, disciplined, organized, and will be ready for the task at hand. They're not backing down. They're leaning into this battle, and I think that just I'm going to call it here that could be something that swings the game. The mistakes by Huff and Gibbons' ability to make them pay a price for making mistakes.
I'm sold. I think everybody out there is running to Ticketmaster to buy those $8 tickets. Riley, we appreciate your time as always, and looking forward to our next chat about something else that the Panthers are doing to help the community.
Tim, thanks so much.
Once again, Riley Fields, Director of Community Relations for the Panthers, and I guess hobbyist high school football analyst. He was like, let's talk X's and O's about Gibbons Huff. Let's go.
He's all in.
I like it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, football at 4 next.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Plenty of companies will sell you a new roof. Fewer will tell you if you actually need one. Since 1915, people across the Carolinas have trusted the Baker name to do right by their homes. Baker Home Exteriors now does roofing, siding, windows, and doors, and always honest advice. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's earned it for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors. Visit bakerhomeexteriors.com.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WREL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. It's hot out there this afternoon with a high of 90, and the humidity is definitely higher than the last several days. Afternoon and evening storms with the potential for a few isolated heavy downpours. 72 tonight and tomorrow. The storms will be more widespread in the afternoon and evening. Highs cooler in the mid-80s.
Weather update brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today. 4 o'clock, check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today, up 104 points to 53,568.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time for football at 4. Brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. The Panthers yesterday, joint practice against the Houston Texans. Tomorrow, preseason game against the Houston Texans. The irony of the entire situation is the two people that are probably most linked on the Panthers and Texans were not on the same field during joint practices. Neither of them will probably play tomorrow in the preseason. They will not play each other at all during the regular season, and even if they did play each other during the regular season, they would not be on the field at the same time as each other. Yet this season is massively important in a ongoing and never-ending career-long competition between the two players. In case you can't tell, you haven't figured it out yet, you haven't cracked the code, I'm talking about Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Bryce Young will forever be connected to two other quarterbacks, at least. One of them is CJ Stroud because they went number 1 and number 2 in their draft class. And forever and ever, if you are quarterbacks and you go number 1 and number 2 in a draft class, you are linked, you are compared, you are debated amongst, you are maybe one regrets, meaning one fan base regrets choosing one over the other, or one fan base is elated because they chose one over the other. Think Peyton Manning and Ryan Leaf. Think Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. Think the triumvirate of Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May. They're going to be linked forever. Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III. I could go on and on. So let me ask you this. CJ Stroud and Bryce Young have had very different careers to this point. They've had very different levels of success. They've had very different level of team success. They've had very different support staffs around them. Neither, despite the fact that they've been eligible for contract extensions this entire offseason, neither has the gigantic stamp of approval, you're our guy, franchise contract extension that quarterbacks are looking for. Which you could argue means both teams are waiting to see what they put on the field this year before they have to make that type of decision. So who has the better 2026? Oh, by the way, I think I said he's connected to two. The other one is Caleb Williams because of the trade. If you get traded for a player, a pick that becomes a player and a bunch more, you're going to be compared. It's just math. Stroud, Bryce Young. Who has the better 2026? Who has the more productive 2026? Who has the more impacting winning 2026? Who? And I want to be clear on this. Who has the better 2026 is not always, it's similar to, but it's not always just asking who's the better quarterback, right? Because a better quarterback in a horrendous situation is not going to have the more productive, the better season, right? And I think that's important to notice because I do think the Texans have a better situation. Okay, you saw their defense. You saw what it did to the Panthers offense. Nico Collins, I don't know if I'd take him forever over Tetairoa McMillan, but probably at the moment, he's a more trustworthy, when healthy, number one wide receiver. David Montgomery, Woody Marks, probably a shade above Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks.
I take Dalton Schultz, tight end.
Take Dalton Schultz. I mean, unless you're getting peak version of Darren Waller, I'd take Dalton Schultz over the tight ends for the Carolina Panthers. And I'm not expecting peak version of Darren Waller. I haven't seen it in 5 years. It is a much better situation in Houston. I'll put it that way. But it has been up to this point as well. Dennis, I feel like something's going on in there.
Yeah, we actually some breaking news we actually need to cut in from this, Tim. This actually from the ACC Board of Directors. This actually was just released literally 2 minutes ago. ACC Board directs conference-wide eligibility enforcement. I'm just going to read this verbatim. This is my first time reading this, Tim. So live reaction here. The ACC Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution directing the commissioner to enforce certain eligibility requirements when an athlete seeks to return to college participation after intentionally pursuing a professional career. Under the resolution, an ACC member institution is not permitted to include an individual on its football or men's or women's basketball roster when that individual has previously declared for an NBA, NFL, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw consistent with NCAA requirements to retain eligibility, signed a contract with the NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, or WNBA, or affiliate, or any team that is a member of any such league. For the NBA Summer League, a contract means an Exhibition 10, a two-way contract, or an agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem, or been listed on any roster for an NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, or WNBA, or affiliate team. The board's actions reflect the NCAA's commitment to preserving college sports as an opportunity for college students that is clearly distinct from professional sports, protecting opportunities for current and future student athletes, and promoting competitive equity. As the eligibility landscape continues to evolve, the ACC will remain steadfast in its support for standards that are consistent with the educational mission of college athletics. There you go. Very similar to what the SEC wrote.
Can you read that one more time?
Yeah,
no,
sure. I got you.
I'm kidding.
I could.
I know you could. It is very similar to what we've seen from the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, which means we'll have the same questions about it that we had about those, which is, can you enforce it? Right? There's going to be attempts by lawyers, by students. Matt Moscana of the Louisiana Sportsnet down there in Louisiana tweeted out today that the 33 players involved in the Louisiana lawsuit to find their eligibility are not backing down after the SEC passed its new rule Wednesday. Their attorney, Tony Clayton, tells Moscana that he believes the conference is in violation of Louisiana law. And, quote, I think Sankey, that's Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, I think Sankey ought to be forced to come down here in Louisiana court and explain to us how he can overrule a Louisiana judge. Close quote. This isn't going away because the ACC adopted everything that Dennis just read, but we now know where the ACC is digging their heels in.
Mm-hmm.
We now know what ground are they going to defend, and this is what they've decided to defend. I'm sure there's more legalese. There's more in-depth lawyer language, because my first thought goes to anything beyond per diem and expenses. Does that mean you can play in Summer League as long as you are just receiving expenses and per diem?
So it says here for the NBA Summer League, a contract means an Exhibit 10, a two-way contract, or any agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem.
So it seems like you can play in the Summer League as long as you don't have an agreement in place for anything beyond expenses and per diem.
Yes. Seth Trimble signed or had reached a tentative agreement on an Exhibit 10 contract. Right, he had reached a tentative agreement, but I don't know if Seth Trimble actually signed beyond expenses and per diem.
Exactly.
So based off this, I'm not entirely sure if Seth Trimble actually is going to be able to play.
There's The thing is, every one of these situations is slightly different, right? Some people had their eligibility exhausted, which means they didn't have to declare for a draft. They just were put into the draft pool. Some forewent some eligibility, and there's an insane amount of detail here. But the ACC, the breaking news here is the ACC is following suit with the other power conferences, and they are going to try to do for their conference what the NCAA couldn't do for the country, which is prevent professional athletes from coming back and playing in college once they've had real professional experience, right? They appear to be opening the door for certain athletes that have perhaps tried the pro thing after thinking their eligibility was exhausted, but not getting close to the pro thing. And maybe they can come back, but they're digging their heels in. Basically, the way I look at it is this, and I know it's not foolproof, but the way I look at it is this: the moment you get any real money to wear a professional jersey or to be on a professional roster, the conferences are going to do their best to not allow you to come back to school. We'll see if they can hold it up. We'll see. And I wonder, I should have went to law school before doing this job. I wonder if there's a little bit of collusion worry here, because the NCAA, like the courts said the NCAA can't say everybody's ineligible that played pro because it's somehow withholding their right to work. I wonder if every conference individually says it, if then they can get like the collusion deal, because it's like the same effective thing. Again, should have went to law school. Don't quote me on any of that, but you can quote us on the fact that the ACC Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution directing the commissioner to enforce certain eligibility requirements when an athlete seeks to return to collegiate participation after intentionally pursuing a professional career. Under the resolution, the ACC member institutions, an ACC member institution is not permitted to include an individual on its football or men's or women's basketball roster when that individual has previously declared for an NFL, NBA, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw consistent with NCAA requirements to retain eligibility, signed a contract with the NFL or other professional football league, NBA/G League, or WNBA or affiliate, or any team that is a member of any such league. For the NBA Summer League, a contract means an Exhibit 10, a two-way contract, or any agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem, or been listed on any roster for an NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, NBA/G League, or WNBA or affiliate team. Do you know what I'm doing?
What's that?
This is a joke, by the way. That last one, they are ineligible to return to college if they've been listed on any roster for an NFL or other professional football league. If I'm an NFL head coach, maybe I went to Michigan, I'm just putting every Ohio State player that is currently on their roster on my NFL roster, putting it up online for everybody to see it, and going, boom, Ohio State just became ineligible.
See, he's right there.
He cannot have been listed on any roster for an NFL or other professional football league. They're all listed on my roster. They're all done.
Harbaugh with the Chargers doing
exactly. That's what I'm saying. If Harbaugh just put Jeremiah Smith, Julian Sayin, Bo Jackson, their running back, just put them all on the Chargers roster for one day, ineligible. By the way, I already said, but I'm joking on that. Dennis, any big takeaways for you from what the ACC has done here?
So I'm trying to figure out here, like for example, we talked earlier about Seth Trimble, and formerly at UNC, now going to Louisville, or committed to play at Louisville. For the NBA Summer League, a contract means an Exhibit 10, a two-way contract, or any agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem. Now, he did play in the Summer League, if I remember correctly, with the Wizards.
I don't know.
I can't remember who it was. But also, it's the bullet point after that. Been listed on any roster for NFL or other professional football league, NBA/G League, or WNBA, or affiliate team. So, like, does the summer, like, having been on a Summer League roster count as an affiliate team? Because you're affiliated with that pro team.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually think
I'm legit curious about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I hate that that's the answer, but I don't know. I'm hoping we'll find out more in the coming days. But the ACC, I think, is doing what most fans want to see them do, which is try to uphold eligibility in the way that we know it. Mostly in the way that we know it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Seth Trimble, he did play in the Summer League last month.
I watched him. It was right here on this TV.
It was back in July with the Wizards. With the Wizards.
I didn't know what team it was, but I watched him. He had some decent plays.
So let's see. This according to our good friend Brendan Marks of The Athletic. He actually wrote about this a couple of weeks ago. Spoke on a source familiar with Trimble's situation who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they're not authorized to speak publicly, said Trimble hadn't signed an entry-level Exhibit 10 NBA contract, contrary to some public reporting, which would have been another potential holdup for the NCAA from an eligibility perspective.
All right.
So who the hell knows?
Yeah, who knows?
Do
you know what's one of the most frustrating things like in life is when you have a question and somebody gives you what you think is going to be the answer, and you read a lot of words, just paragraphs and sentences, and then at the end you still don't know, and you're like, wait, no, I did the thing. I did the research. I read the stuff. I'm supposed to know the answer now. I still don't know the answer. I think it's closer to the answer I want, though. I think it's closer to the answer I'm hoping for. I just don't know if we're there yet or not. And I don't know if it's enforceable. I know somewhere a lawyer's going to get some cash.
Did Venal Lubin play Summer League or anything like that?
I do not believe so.
I don't think he did either. So based off all this, he probably is eligible.
If he can find a judge to say so. I don't know. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. That is, or it was before the breaking news. Football at 4 brought to you by John Heister, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Heister. We have Cons and Cons coming up, a special Week 0 edition. But first, Dennis, you have a message.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick from my good friends over at Loan Pronto. A lot of people have questions about money, among many other things. But guess what? If you have questions about if you can still get cash out of your home equity, if you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, well, here's the question. That's the question. Here's the answer. If you have that 2 or 3 or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get the cash out of your home that you want. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000. They paid off all their credit cards. They paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process. And listen, no closing costs. You may even be able to skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, will be back with Cons and Cons, Week 0 edition, next.
The NFL kicks off September 9th.
There goes Tommy, down the right sideline across midfield. Tommy Tremble with the thunder. Touchdown! Touchdown! Chicago has caught a touchdown pass.
On 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Bryce Magic is real, and Coker has played the game of his life.
Presented by Fairway Green and Wake Med.
Gotta love it.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's Bo time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's Bo time.
Tomorrow starts tonight. The energy you have, the patience you show your family, the focus you bring to work. It all begins with sleep. I'm Megan Giggling with Parkway Sleep Health Centers. If you've been putting off getting help because you thought it would take months, Parkway is different. Most patients start care within weeks, not months, with convenient virtual visits and home sleep studies. Because life is better when you sleep well.
Parkway Sleep, your fastest path to better sleep. Start today at parkwaysleep.com. Sound sleep, sound health.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we jump into some football talk, this could apply to football. We do have a bit of breaking news that we were talking about before the break. The ACC, the bulk of the breaking news, the gist of it, it all boils down to the Atlantic Coast Conference, the ACC, is joining the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12. In some form or fashion, they are making a conference rule to ban professional athletes from, regardless of the situation, coming back to college. So if you thought your eligibility was up and you went and signed a contract with a pro team, you went and played for a pro team, you were on a roster for a pro team, you cannot come back and play in college. That's becoming the decisive, that's becoming the I'm digging my heels in point, sticking to my guns point for the major power conferences across college sports. And the details on what that, what constitutes being on a professional team, it's all broken down in details. But pretty much, if you accept money beyond, expenses and per diem, and or you are on a roster for a professional team or one of their affiliates, you no longer can go back to college. Which sounds like, of course not, but there's a guy that had 2 sacks in an NFL preseason game and then a couple days later was in the transfer portal. Not more than a couple weeks ago, that exact situation happened. So they're trying to get ahead of that, or at least trying not to be too far behind that. We'll keep you updated if we learn any more. There are still questions, still loopholes, still gaps in the information that's being passed out to the public. If we can fill in any of those gaps, we will absolutely do so for you later today and continuing on. In the meantime, college football starts in earnest on Saturday with Week 0 college football. Both UNC and NC State will be participating, not against each other, but in pretty darn important games for each program. So we thought we'd put each of those teams into the cons and cons machine.
But to play great defense, you need one thing above all else. That starts with a W. Confidence.
What are you confident in? What are you most concerned about? Separately, for NC State and UNC, we'll see where it goes from there. Dennis, I assume you want to go chronologically?
Yeah, I usually go in order of kickoff time.
All right, so we'll start with in Dublin, Ireland, the Carolina Tar Heels taking on TCU. It'll be a noon start, our time. We'll start with the concerns. Dennis, what are you most concerned about for the Carolina Tar Heels?
My concern is that it's a very, very, very young roster. And the fact that we looked at last year, they have however many, obviously everything was pretty much brand new at Carolina. Mm-hmm. But you have 60-plus new guys again this year, and a majority of them are freshmen. Guys are not used to playing college football right now. And a lot of those guys, again, haven't had college football snaps. They don't get preseason games.
You don't get joint practice. It's just you're playing yourself. That's it. And when you try and step into a situation against a team that does have some experience, like TCU, and a coach that's been established for a while at TCU, that's pretty difficult for a young team to handle. So that's my concern for them, is it's the fact that you got all these new pieces again.
Mine is the last part of what you said. It's the new rather than just the young. I went on 247 Sports, which is becoming the one of the go-tos for, if it's not already, for recruiting rankings and transfer portal rankings and all those sort of things. On 247 Sports, UNC has the second most high school recruits in the 2026 class of any FBS team. They have 40 recruits, so 40 true freshmen on the roster this year. And if you go to the transfers, their class rankings, they're not all the way at the top, but they have 19 transfers coming in this year. That's 59 new players. That's a boatload of new players, especially when largely the I don't want to say largely. One of the main points that was used for the struggles last season for Carolina was just simply how many new guys they had, right? How it's difficult to get chemistry. It's difficult to play as a team. It's difficult to get everybody on the same page when, everybody's coming from these different places and they didn't have the time. They didn't have the practice. New coaches, they're learning a new level of football, and it all just added up to a 4-8 season. I don't know. I don't know if they could have done anything different, right? Because it's like, how did you not learn from your mistakes and have more continuity this year? But it's like, if people left, you have to replace them, right? It's not like I choose to have everybody return. It's like, it takes two to tango, right? If they wanted to leave, they left. Or if they graduated, they graduated. I'm worried about the lack of continuity again, right? And just being in a similar place to where, especially early on, the defense struggles. Even if they get stronger as the year goes on, by that point, there's already leaks in the boat. You know what I mean? Because the defense did get better last year, but it was just too little too late, right? Because they'd already succumbed to the quicksand, if you know what I mean. Let's get to the more fun part. Dennis, what are you most confident in for the Carolina Tar Heels?
I think my confidence is the fact they got the new offensive coordinator and Bobby Petrino, and someone that actually has had success everywhere he pretty much has been his entire career. From head coach, offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino is one heck of a football coach. And also, it's Bobby Petrino has the ability to adapt his offensive scheme around the skill set of the players, which believe it or not many coaches do.
It is one of those things that every coach says they do.
They don't.
Yeah, in their introductory press conference when they're taking over as offensive coordinator, it sounds good. I've used the Bobby Petrino example a bunch of times. He's had really, really good offenses in really, really good conferences, led by Lamar Jackson when he won the Heisman, and also led by Ryan Mallett when he led the SEC in passing. And I don't know if you can find two more different quarterbacks in the history of college football. Both very good. The late Ryan Mallett, who passed away much too young, was 6'7", 6'8", statue, stand tall in the pocket. Lamar Jackson, one of the fastest and most athletic quarterbacks we've ever seen in football at any level. And he built an offense around each of them that had a lot of success. One at Arkansas, one at Louisville. So I agree that Bobby Petrino talks the talk and walks the walk about customizing the offense. My confidence, expectations aren't as high. Like, I talked about the quicksand, whatever you want to call it, the snowball, right? With the steamroller. 7 wins is a success this year. 7 wins would not have been a success last year. They only won 4, but 7 would have been still seen as like, I don't know. By the end of week 1 last year, remember it was Monday night, by the end of that game, the season kind of felt lost already, right? Because I think we all let our imaginations go to like, what if Bill Belichick revolutionizes college football? And by the end of like the first half against TCU, it was, well, he's not doing that. Matter of fact, it's much worse than that. I don't know if it's possible to be as down on them after week 1 as we were last year, because we have no imagination running wild with us that they're even going to be like an ACC contender. So I think lower expectations helps them. It gives them, a little bit less pressure, essentially. All right, you want to go to NC State now, later in the day?
Let's go.
In Charlottesville, NC State at UVA. Start with the concerns. Dennis, what are you most concerned about?
My concern is the turnover of skill position players around C.J. Bailey. Justin Joly's in the NFL. Noah Rogers is no longer there. Wesley Grimes is in the NFL. I've had some other guys leave. So there's just been a good amount of turnover. I know that they have brought some guys in. I think Keenan Jackson is coming, or some of Terrell Anderson. Some of those guys are back, but they did lose a lot.
Keenan Jackson is back. Terrell Anderson is out at USC.
That's right. He's at USC.
And I believe he's hurt right now because they put out their 2 deep and he's not on it.
Oh, okay. Well, Jackson's back. Now, Duke Scott is coming back. I think he showed well when he was playing in place of Hollywood Smothers last season, but no Hollywood Smothers is there anymore. So, again, there's just some turnover at those skill position groups. I just want to know who's going to become that number one safety blanket. Hey, it's 3rd and 7. Who's my go-to guy? Because last year it would be like, where's Justin Joly? And I don't know who that guy is right now.
I'm glad you brought that up because my favorite interaction that I've had with a quarterback this year is the C.J. Bailey at the ACC kickoff interaction that we had, which was a follow-up to the previous year. And I've told this story a few times, but if you haven't heard it yet, buckle up. The thing that I really liked was last year I put C.J. Bailey on the spot like I do with a lot of quarterbacks at ACC kickoff, and I said, 3rd and 8, 40-yard line, 2 minutes left, give me a play. And last year he did basically what Dennis just brought up. He was like, Justin Joly on a choice route. This year, he gave me the name of the play, the concept of the play. He gave me his entire progression. He gave me, what if the defense does this? I'm going to do this. I even started throwing stuff at him going, all right, well, right before the snap, you see safety rotation. You think you're going to get a field blitz. What do you do to the protection? And he answered it all. I think his safety blanket might just be the correct read rather than find Joly. You know what I mean? It's get to the open guy, and that's how the best do it. You know what I mean? We'll see how it goes. My concern for the NC State Wolfpack, and I actually took this very down to week 0, is Virginia's offensive line. Virginia has a very good offensive line, and the things I'm most excited about for State are mostly on the offense. The defense has to show that they're better than last year. So if Virginia can be effective and keep the NC State offense off the field, I'd be concerned. And I've said this a few times. I have my group of 4. I need to ask them if I can say their names so I can just stop saying this mysterious group of 4. But I have 4 people I trust when it comes to voting on ACC awards and things for offensive line, because I don't pay that much attention to offensive line. I'm a fantasy football guy. And when I asked for, hey, who are the all ACC preseason offensive linemen, Virginia was heavily represented on my return texts. So a little concerned about that, especially based on what State's defense did last year. Dennis, what are you confident in for NC State?
I think my confidence is not just with C.J. Bailey, but it's also C.J. Bailey with his second straight season with Kurt Roper as his offensive coordinator. Because remember, his first year was Robert Anae.
Yep, very similar to what I have, but keep going.
Yeah, but I think the fact that, again, continuity is so important, and the fact that you have, again, Bailey's back for his 3rd year, but second season in a row with the same offensive coordinator, I think it's going to be even better for C.J. Bailey.
Mine is simply stability. And those 2 guys you mentioned are part of it. It's just so rare in college football. I say this so much. It's so rare to have the head coach, the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, and the quarterback all returning from the previous season. Let alone head coach, the offensive coordinator was on staff. The quarterback's been starting for 3 years. This is a very, very stable unit. At the decision-making spots, right? The main coaches, the main play callers, and the quarterback. Virginia has a little bit of that, but NC State has a ton of it, right? A 3rd-year starting quarterback who's good, right? Because there's also you might have a 3rd-year starting quarterback because he plays the line perfectly. He's not good enough that any of the big transfer portal money's there waiting for him, but he also hasn't played bad enough that you're getting benched and moved on from. You're just playing that Mendoza line right down the middle. That's not what C.J. Bailey's done. C.J. Bailey has played well enough that the big transfer portal money is there, and he has chosen, and NC State has likely chosen to up what they're offering him, but he has stuck around. So I just like a old school. We've seen this coach and quarterback develop for a while. We've seen these coordinators there for at least a couple years, and they get to come put it all together. That's what I'm confident in. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. So I think this is what we're going to do. Because of the breaking news earlier, and I'll let you know what that breaking news is once again in a second. We're going to push. Do you want to just do Mike Glennon next segment? How about that?
Yeah, we'll push Mike Glennon to
cool.
4:45.
So Mike Glennon, former NC State quarterback, longtime NFL quarterback, friend of the show, and also my co-host on the Pack Therapy podcast. He stopped by the studio earlier today. We recorded a conversation with him about, quite honestly, a lot of NFL stuff. A lot of Panthers stuff, because if you want the NC State insight from Mike, you can check it out on Pack Therapy, the podcast, available everywhere podcasts can be found. In the meantime, though, I will give you the update, speaking of the ACC, which the NC State Wolfpack are a part of. There you go. The ACC Board of Directors unanimously. How about that? Actually, let's just stop there for a second. When's the last time everybody in the ACC agreed on something? That's how ridiculous eligibility has become.
Yeah.
We got all, what is that, 17 representatives and half of Notre Dame? Like we got everybody to unanimously. The ACC Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution directing the commissioner to enforce certain eligibility requirements when an athlete seeks to return to collegiate participation after intentionally pursuing a professional career. I love that. Does anyone accidentally pursue a professional career?
I guess you could fall into it.
I guess that's if you think that's opening the door to if you thought your eligibility was done, so you took a tryout.
Yeah.
All right. Under the resolution, an ACC member institution is not permitted to include an individual on its football or men's or women's basketball roster when that individual has, and I'm going to paraphrase some of this, previously declared for the professional league draft, NFL, NBA, WNBA draft, and did not appropriately withdraw ahead of time to retain their eligibility. If they are not permitted to return and play in the ACC, if they signed a contract with an NFL or other pro league, with the NBA or the NBA G League, WNBA or an affiliate of the WNBA team, or any team that is a member of any such league. A little confusing when it comes to the Summer League. For NBA Summer League, a contract means an Exhibit 10 contract, a two-way contract, or any agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem. So I guess that's kind of the intentional thing. Like, think your eligibility's up, you get an invite to Summer League, but they're pretty much just giving you room and board. That's not the same as they're giving you $500,000 to play 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Been listed, and they also cannot return if they've been listed on any roster for an NFL or other professional league, NBA or NBA G League, or WNBA or affiliate team. It's consistent with what we've seen, similar to what we've seen from other power conferences. It's the ACC trying to keep some form of the eligibility that we've known over the years. They're trying to make it so you can't catch a pass for the Browns on a Thursday and be in practice for Georgia Tech on a Sunday. Anything I'm missing there, Dennis?
No, that pretty much hits it.
There you go.
I know that's going to definitely impact NC State with Venal Lubin being a fifth year, because he was not drafted. He never, because obviously he played 4 years, so you're automatically in the NBA draft, but never was drafted. And as far as I know, never signed any sort of professional contract with anybody, whether that's international or with an NBA G League or Summer League or anything along those lines. So it seems like based off all this, Venal Lubin is okay. And the other question I have is, what about Seth Trimble at Louisville, formerly of UNC?
Well, actually, I probably need to put this disclaimer out there.
Sure.
The conversation we're about to air with Mike Glennon after the break, we did talk just a hint about Jamel Johnson, who is a defensive back that was on the team last year, thought his eligibility was up, and is now back on the roster, but I believe at the moment is not eligible to play on Saturday, but that could have changed since I started talking 6 minutes ago. We did just talk kind of about the unknown nature of having a player in that situation, but that was before today's breaking news. So if any of it comes out stale or if we don't bring it up during that conversation, that's why. With that being said, you will hear that conversation between me and Mike Glennon in a second, but first, Dennis Cox has something he'd like you to know.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Law Tigers. All this stuff we've been talking about, a lot of uncertainty. As a motorcycle rider, you want to try and limit and eliminate as many uncertainties as possible. That's where you ride in your lane. That's also how you take care of your bike even before you get out there on the road. Have you checked your tire pressure? Have you checked your oil pressure? All those kinds of things. Have you washed your bike recently? Believe it or not, washing your motorcycle is actually one of the best things you can do for yourself when you're out there on the road. Get a lot of the dirt, the gunk, all that stuff off your engine, off your bike. That way it can run cleanly when you're out there on the road. Last thing you want to do is you're going down the road and all of a sudden things just get stopped up and you're right there in the middle of traffic. That spells disaster, folks. Do everything you can to eliminate any sort of unknown possibilities. You can do as much as you can, and accidents can still happen. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, make sure you contact Law Tigers at 1-800-LAW-TIGERS even before you get in touch with the insurance company. Insurance companies, they want to give you the least amount possible, whereas Law Tigers, they're there to fight for you. That's why your case evaluation with Law Tigers is always free, and you don't pay a dime until your case settles. So give them a call, 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, or visit lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, North Carolina's motorcycle lawyers. Law Tigers is a network of independent law firms who are members of the American Association of Motorcycle Injury Lawyers. Law Tigers is not a law firm.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Here's from our friend Mike Glennon. Next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The NCAA could have been the bus driver on this. They could have taken control and been the adult in the room a long time ago. And they kept kicking the can down the road. And they just have never been big picture thinkers or been the leaders that they need to be, which is why we have issue after issue after issue, with 5 for 5 and the timing of this being the latest.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come and throw it in and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
I'm Galen, co-founder of Brooklyn Solarworks. With my Chase Inc. Business Premier Card, I get unlimited 2.5% cash back on purchases of $5,000 or more. So everything we buy to run our solar business gives us cash back that we put back into the neighborhood, donating solar panels to community gardens.
Chase Inc. Cash back built for every business. Find the right card at chase.com/inc. Real business owner compensated for their participation. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
With Bet365 Early Payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina.
This hour of The Drive is brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog, too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is with great pleasure that we bring for our weekly little chats here. Longtime friend of the show, my cousin, NC State legend, 10-year NFL veteran, quarterback Mike Glennon. Mike, first of all, thank you, and welcome to another season. And
Ravenscroft football coach.
And Ravenscroft offensive mastermind. Have you been given the guru title yet?
Yep, we could call it all. Offensive guru, offensive mastermind, playmaker, play designer, I should say. What else? What's the words to describe like Sean McVay?
They get the guru or quarterback whisperer is a good one. This is just a fun question. How many offensive coordinators did you play for in your college and pro career? It's got to be like 10, right?
One in college was easy, and then I know for a fact every year in the NFL except for one. Only one time in my career was there a repeat offensive coordinator for me.
So 9.
And I'm trying to – well, there's more because I had 2 times
and stuff.
Coaches got fired mid-season. So I think we're up to 12.
12 including college. Which one – your Ravenscroft playbook, where does it come from the most?
Honestly, the most similar to what we were doing in Jacksonville when I was with Jay Gruden. It's a little bit of mix, but of those 12, I kind of took my favorite from all of it and made it simple, tried to make it simple, and that's what we're running. So it's been fun for me.
I'm going to ask the super fan question. You have a Gruden playbook. Did you install Spider 2 Y Banana?
I can't say. Can't say. Okay. Could be running it on Friday.
All right. I mean, if I would love to hear Spider 2 Y Banana.
Honestly, I probably need to put it in just for that reason.
The kid, they probably don't even know. They don't know a Gruden grinder. While we have you here, let's talk a little Panthers. Going back to your NFL career, and we're talking with Mike Glennon here on the drive. Did you do the joint practice thing? Were those in vogue at the time? So the Panthers had a joint practice yesterday. I don't know if you saw the reports. Not great for the offense, to the point where after the practice, Dave Canales was asked, what were your reactions? And he went, 2 words, Danielle Hunter and Will Anderson. Actually, that's 4, but they wrecked it. To me, when a coach is that blunt, it must have been unbelievably obvious. From your joint practice experience, did you ever go up against a guy that was just like, well, our offense isn't going to get much work here unless we blow the whistle and, say sack?
Trying to think if there's – I did it a handful of times. I can't remember a time. The Raiders, we did do it against the Rams up in Napa Valley, which is awesome to think that we did training camp there. I don't remember Aaron Donald completely wrecking it, although he probably did. But I think he
just chose not to, right?
I do remember when I was with the Giants, we went against the Patriots. It was Mac Jones' rookie year, and I remember he carved us up. And Joe Judge was back in New England for the first time, and I think he was a little embarrassed, and we got ripped that night. But I think it was like they completely got after us. The next day we did better. But those practices are good. They're mainly for the starters, so I wouldn't get a ton of work in them. But you get a lot done. You get to see a lot of different looks, and you realize how good every team is. Like even the bad teams, everyone's got great players. And there's just some days where the going against Danielle Hunter and those guys, sometimes you just lose.
Yeah.
And I guess it's how do you respond the next day?
The pictures and videos of Danielle Hunter. You remember like the "We Must Protect This House" Under Armour mannequins? He looks like one of those guys. It's pretty serious. And he was going up against a rookie right tackle in Monroe Freeling. A lesson day for Monroe. Rookie tackle, you're a quarterback behind him. How you've now seen. Granted, Danielle Hunter is a $40 million defensive end, and Will Anderson is amongst the best in the league. But you've now seen your rookie tackle get worked. And he's going to be starting week 1. Like, how does that change?
Well,
things?
I think if you're playing a pass rusher like that, you're obviously putting in a plan that week. Like, when we go into this week, this guy's circled, and we're not going to let him wreck the game. So we're going to chip him. We're going to find ways where we're sliding to him. The problem is the Texans got 2 of them, which is why, I don't know how the Rams are going to get stopped this year if Aaron Donald comes back. But, yeah, I think you got to be aware as the quarterback, like, look, I may have to get the ball out of my hands quicker, especially on the plays where we're not chipping to his side or he has extra help, because there's just some pass rushers that are, no matter who it is, rookie or not, we're going into that week knowing I got to get the ball out of my hands quick. And a lot of that falls on the play caller, that every play you have to take into account for that guy. And then it's like, if for whatever reason, he's off the field, now is the time we take our shot, because we're probably not going to be able to run something deep when he's on the field. So the quarterback, you got to keep it in the back of your mind, but you can't let it overtake your thought process, because you still got to play football and put some trust in him that he's going to do his job to protect you.
Mike Glennon joining us here in studio, talking a little Panthers. Probably the most often comped pre-draft comparison for Teterow McMillan was Mike Evans. That's a guy that you saw early in his career. What was the biggest difference? What was the leap that maybe Mike made as a tall wide receiver that obviously has physical gifts and can run and jump with everybody? But like year 1 to year 2 or year 2 to year 3, whenever you think Mike Evans made the big jump, what should we be looking for as far as good signs?
Good question. I get the comparison. I think Teterow is actually a little bit more twitchy than Mike is. But for Mike, I think it was just kind of nuances in the detail of the routes. He was a little raw coming in to the league. He at Texas A&M, he only had played on one side of the field. His route tree was pretty limited. So I think it was just getting more comfortable in an NFL offense, expanding your route tree, and you're drinking through a water hose your kind of rookie year, trying to learn it all. Year 2, you get to kind of settle down, focus on your craft a little bit more. I think Teterow is actually pretty good route runner already. He's not quite as big and strong as Mike, so I'll just kind of see what his game looks like from a individual route running perspective from year 1 to year 2.
And then we got to ask a Bryce Young question. Year 4 now for him. The context is being worn out. It meaning, the play callers were shuffling around his rookie year, and the offensive line wasn't this and that. Make or break year, they picked up his 5th-year option, but he's also eligible for a contract extension. They haven't given it to him. It's I don't know. I guess I'm tired of I could ask you the same question that I've asked you the last 3 years about Bryce. Is something going to change?
I don't think I don't think he's answered all the questions, but he sure as got himself off the hook. If you lead your team to the playoffs, you've earned yourself another year. Now I would say they picked up the 5th-year option. I wouldn't put him on the hot seat, but if it goes south, then we gotta reconsider this quickly. So I would say the future's still uncertain. I don't think the everyone knows what. Is he going to be the long-term answer? Do they give him a new contract? I think there's still a lot to be answered.
That's Mike Glennon here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Check out our podcast, Pack Therapy, talking about his Wolfpack as they go into week 0 this weekend in Charlottesville against UVA. Should be live everywhere. Once again, Mike Glennon joining us, and that'll become a more regular thing as it does every single football season. I do have to come up with new questions because we're now at 3 years of just asking the exact same questions about Bryce Young. Because I want to talk quarterbacks with the 10-year NFL veteran quarterback, but it
makes sense.
Which it's just so same thing about Bryce. He's got to finally put it all together and be more consistent, and he's got to stop those early backbreaking turnovers. But it is nice he has an occasional game-winning drive. And it's just what is going to change? So I'll brainstorm harder. I'll work more for you to try to come up with a new question about Bryce. It would be nice if he did some different things on the field as well, rather than just, running back the same script we've seen. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly, and I am here for Miller Lending. And, of course, that includes Gordon Miller, who's been making no-cost loans a thing for decades. They've been here in the Triangle for decades offering no-cost loans. What that does is it gives you flexibility. If you're worried because, hey, maybe you've been down on your luck recently. And what that means is, as soon as you lock in your mortgage rate, rates are going to go way down. And you're going to be so mad at yourself because now you got to come up with costs and fees and closing costs again to get the refi done. And you're worried it's going to keep going down. And oh no, oh, woe is me. Not woe is you. Call Miller Lending and get the woe be gone. The reason why that is possible is because if you get a no closing cost loan from Miller Lending, you lock in your rate today. And if, as your little worrisome self is saying, rates drop a ton tomorrow, refinance, no closing costs, right? Keep that check in your pocket. And then if they keep dropping, you'll never guess. Refinance again, no closing costs. Just get yourself those lower monthly payments. There are some around the office here that have done it 9, 10, 11 times, left happy every single time. Call Miller Lending. Here's the phone number, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, NMLS number 250-2146. When we come back, it's time for the starting five. Stick around.
Excuse me, you think you could spare a square?
Sorry, what?
A square on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, for the 99.9 The Fan app.
Exactly. Listen to your favorite hosts, teams, and live sports action.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere.
Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
I'm glad you agreed to this date, Mr. First Tuesday.
Oh, me too, but I have to admit something. I've never been on a first date.
But you are a date, and first is in your name.
Yeah, I guess I've just been married to my work, you know? Spreading the news about new scratch-offs coming out every first Tuesday.
New scratch-offs release every first Tuesday?
Wait, you don't know about new scratch-off tickets that come out okay. Well, okay. You got me.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
McDonald's is putting value back on the menu. Whether you're craving a Big Mac, McNuggets, or sausage, egg, and cheese McGriddles, make it a meal and save. Your favorite is now your wallet's favorite too. Extra value meals are back.
Now, save on what you crave. Get a 10-piece chicken McNuggets, medium fries, and medium Coke for just $8. That's one unbeatable deal. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary.
Worried about car repair costs? Relax. Meineke has you covered with flexible financing solutions customized especially for you. For tires, brakes, engine repairs, and more, you can trust Meineke to get you safely back on the road now and in the future with multiple payment solutions available. No worries. Meineke will make it easy for you. Each Meineke is independently owned and operated. Schedule an appointment today by visiting Meineke.com. Trust your key with Meineke. Meineke, doing car care right.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WREL meteorologist Amy Wilmot. The front stalls over the area. That means our rain chances continue for the next few days. Showers and storms possible this afternoon, this evening. Highs near 90. After some storms early tonight, we're left with mostly cloudy skies and temperatures down into the low 70s.
Weather update brought to you by All-Star Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 105 points today at the closing bell, closing at 53,569.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. It is time for the starting five. Presented by Baker Home Exteriors. The Baker family has roofed the Carolinas since 1915. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Always good work. BakerHomeExteriors.com. Let's jump into the starting five, starting with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Now Howden. Both goals tonight for Vegas. Carries it in. Vegas will keep it in. Anderson with a shot. And Frederick Anderson with the glove. Oh, Mr. Anderson into the matrix fully in this period.
Freddie Anderson will forever be a Stanley Cup champion with the Carolina Hurricanes.
Let's go.
Freddie Anderson will forever be making fans kind of worried about his injuries.
Yeah.
Like there's you gotta both sides, right? There's both sides to that coin. This is one of those deals where like there's a little bit of sympathy there, but also there's a little bit of like, well, now you know, like we've been through this. Freddie Anderson, the Edmonton Oilers have already made it known that he was injured in off-season training and he will not be at training camp, or will not be playing and participating in training camp. He will not be ready for training camp, might be the way to say that. Some of the reporting online is saying that this could be months, right? It's part of the give and take with Freddie Anderson. You bring him in, you know you're going to get somebody who's professional, somebody that, you know, fits into your locker room, somebody that's a good guy. The team will love him. When he's out there, he's going to give you absolutely everything he's got. For the most part, he'll be a steady presence in goal. And he's going to get hurt and miss games. Like it's where he is in his career. He's obviously in mid to upper 30s. It's a different feeling when he's not, like when he's playing for the Canes and this happens. You're just like, oh, goodness. All right, who are they going to call up? You're looking at where's Spencer Martin? Where's, what is it? I mean, we go on and on down the list, right?
Yaniv Peretz. Jack LaFontaine.
Dustin, whatever his name was. Tokarski. Am I making that up?
Oh, yeah.
There's so many. They're all there. When he's playing for another team, it's more just like, man, I wish Freddie were healthy. Right? It's less, you know, all hands on deck. Let's figure out what this goes into, and more, gosh, that guy can't stay healthy. I mean, he's had the blood clots. He's had this. He's had that. I don't know what this injury is, but it happened in training, right? Not even an in-game injury. Tough spot. But it does draw attention to the goalie market and the goalie situation. And maybe, I don't even know if it's a domino. Is it like Connor Hellebuck has been this towering presence in the goalie market because, you know, the rumor was he had perhaps requested a trade from Winnipeg. And obviously he has a resume that, you know, the PDF's like 7 pages long with awards and records and everything. His agent released a statement from Hellebuck today that essentially confirmed the rumors. He said, I did request internally a trade, and he felt it was necessary today to make those trade requests public, kind of the next step in him asking out of Winnipeg. Dennis, you told me during the most recent commercial break there was is it a response statement from the team?
Yeah, the Winnipeg Jets themselves said, put out a statement saying, Connor Hellebuck has been open with us about his desire for a change. He has been an important part of the Winnipeg Jets organization for many years, and we have a tremendous respect for what he has accomplished here. While we continue to work through the situation in a thoughtful manner, there is no update at this time. That's from their executive VP and general manager, Kevin Cheveldayoff.
Obviously, the goodness. It's so messed up that the Carolina Hurricanes have a contentious relationship with a team called the Panthers.
Yeah.
And then the Carolina NFL football team is the Panthers, because it just sets me up to just get it wrong too darn often. The Carolina Hurricanes have been rumored to be interested and perhaps even making some pretty substantial offers for Connor Hellebuck earlier this offseason. Dennis, do you think they fire up that communication engine once again?
I think they do, especially now that it is officially open in the public that Hellebuyck wants out. I think for the fact that Eric Tulsky is going to call about everything.
Which we do know.
What's the cost? What's the cost?
He does call about everything.
That's it. Hey, what's the cost?
I think he would be very upset. And when I say he, I mean Tulsky, but Tom Dundon, just the group with the Canes. I think they would be very upset if Connor Hellebuyck is traded and they think it's for significantly less than what they believe he is worth. So they are going to do everything they can to stay in the know, not necessarily because they're going to break the bank and give up everything and an arm and a leg, the moon and the stars for Hellebuyck, but just because if there's a deal to be had on a goaltender with Hellebuyck's history, I think they would be interested. I mean, it's true off-season talk, but if none of the big dominoes fall, are you comfortable with Bussy and Pyotr Kochetkov rolling into the season?
Yeah.
So that's the nice fallback, right?
Also, I wonder as well, because training camp starts basically in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Does Connor Hellebuyck show up?
Yeah.
Think he does?
I think he does. I think he's a pro.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I think Winnipeg is trying. I think his contract's a tough one to move. I think they're trying. I genuinely do. I don't know if anyone's doing anything wrong in this situation. He can ask for a trade. He's earned that right. They've been trying, but they don't have to sell him for less than they believe he's worth. So it's just it's a holding pattern. I think it, even the statements were like, love you. I want to leave. You're great. You're awesome. Fans are great. Awesome. I gotta leave. Like there was, three compliments and a criticism. Are we just starting? Is that still number 5? Let's get to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
We'll quickly run through this. The Tour Championship going on as we speak. If you guys still on the course down there in Eastlake Golf Club in Atlanta, it's just the first of 4 rounds, right? So a lot of golf left to be played. As I often say, you can't win a tournament on Thursday, but you can lose it. I'll give you some a pair of guys with local connections that definitely did not lose it today. They are in the clubhouse, so done for the day. 5 under par, tied for 3rd. Ryan Gerard played his college golf at UNC. Akshay Bhatia lives in the area. They're both tied for 3rd right now, behind only Minwoo Lee, who is 8 under par, and Victor Hovland, who is 6 under par. Gerard, Bhatia, also Ludwig Aubert, Colin Morikawa, Chris Gotterup. They are all 3 strokes off the lead, 5 under par, tied for 3rd. The rest of the local contingent, Alex Smalley played his college golf at Duke. 3 under par, he's in a tie for 12th. Alex Fitzpatrick played at Wake Forest, 2 under par, tie for 18th. And Cam Young has worked his way back to even par. At one point it was 3 over. Played his college golf at Wake Forest. He is even through 16 holes, tie for 26th. Reminder, the Tour Championship, there's only 30 guys in the tournament. It's the 30 best golfers this season, right? They accumulated the most FedEx Cup points. Do you know what the last place gets in cash at the Tour Championship?
How much?
$355K.
So just for showing up.
Literally, because JJ Spawn showed up. I think he played like half a hole and he withdrew. $355K.
Not a bad day's work.
I imagine he knew he was going to withdraw, but he also knew he had to start to get $355K. So he did whatever. I mean, I want to go see his drive. I want to see if he got it off the tee box or if he just nudged that thing and said, "I'm hurt. I'll pay for that with that money." I don't know if that happened, but he did withdraw, and dead last gets $355,000. So Cameron Young's having a not great day. He's a really good golfer, one of the best this year. He's in tie for 26th out of 30. He's probably in line to make like $500,000. Wouldn't it be nice? Show up to work and be just the worst in the office. Like you're fighting for the bottom 3 spots in the office that day. Yeah, I guess I'm probably in line for $500,000 this week. Wouldn't it be nice? Tour Championship obviously will be going on until Sunday. And if you're wondering where Scotty Scheffler, the lurking number one golfer in the world, is, he is through 15 holes, 3 under par, tied for 12th. Definitely within striking distance, especially if Min-Woo Lee comes off his pace just a little bit. That's number 4. How about number 3?
Bailey, waist-high snap. Lofts it, left side of the end zone. Touchdown, NC State. C.J. Bailey waits, surveys the landscape, and fires a dart to Terrell Anderson.
NC State, 2 days away from starting the college football season in week 0 with a away game at UVA, 3:30. I believe you can hear it on our sister station, 101.5.
That is correct.
Mix 101.5. There you go. Dave Doran doesn't have to do any mental gymnastics on this one. Normally, I don't want to say normally, a lot of times you have a tune-up game in week 1 in your first game, right? And all camp, the coach is going, we don't look past them, right? You got 1-0. Got to go 1-0. This game is the biggest game on our schedule. And you're like, yeah, except I played against a bunch of these guys in high school, and I know what they're bringing to the table. Yeah, let's do the rah-rah thing, Coach. When you're starting on the road at Virginia, a team that won 11 games last year, played in the ACC championship game, regular season had the best record in the ACC, and your team like NC State that is craving a 10-win season with every fiber of your being, and you look at your schedule and you think if you start hot, this might be the year. There's no mental gymnastics. There's no let's all pretend this is the big game. It's like absolutely signed, sealed, delivered. This is one of the biggest games of the year for NC State. We're going to make our picks and everything tomorrow. We're going to have to set win-loss totals and make our picks there for NC State, for UNC at least, if we don't do all of college. I'll have an if-then statement, but I'm seriously considering, okay? Everybody hear me out. I'm not signing, sealed, delivering it, not stone-cold lead pipe locking it. I'm seriously considering making it a must-win game 1. Must-win first game of the year, which I don't think I've done in my entire career. I think must-win has become wildly overused in covering sports. It's like, they must win this one. If they don't, it makes next week a must-win. And I'm like, then it's must-win 1 of 2. It's not a must-win. I think there's going to be real stakes. I'm, again, not locking it in. We'll do that tomorrow. I think it's if they win this, 8 or more wins. If they lose it, 7 or less. It might be that obvious because it's that important of a game, getting out to a hot start. I think 3 of their 5 first games, 3 of the first 5 games on their schedule might be the most important games on their schedule, meaning best teams they're facing, setting up momentum, everything. And it starts on the road at UVA, week 0. 3:30. I haven't checked the weather in Charlottesville, but I'm sure there's going to be a nice contingent of State fans making the relatively short drive and taking in what could be a must-win game for them. We'll decide tomorrow. If you want more about the NC State-Virginia game, earlier today I did record a podcast with Mike Glennon, Pack Therapy, the podcast, getting you ready. We talk transfers, we talk UVA strengths, we talk C.J. Bailey. It's all there on Pack Therapy, the podcast, available everywhere podcasts can be found. And last week we did a entire podcast just on C.J. Bailey, just straight quarterback nerded out. So if you want to know how important we think he is for UVA, or for NC State against UVA, that should tell you. That is number 3. How about number 2?
Just the 2 of us. UNC taking its time. Lopez to the end zone. He's got shit. Touchdown, Carolina.
Carolina's also opening 2 days from now in a land far, far away. They are in Dublin, Ireland. They are getting ready to play TCU. I hope, from a competitor standpoint, Christo Kelly, Melkart Abu-Jaude, Jordan Shipp, anybody on the Carolina Tar Heels that was on the Carolina Tar Heels last year, I hope they have had this game circled for about 365 days. I hope the moment they walked off the field, Monday Night Football, their first game a season ago, where TCU put a hurting on them, I hope they went, thank goodness we play that team next year, because we need revenge. I hope from a competitive standpoint they've been thinking that, and it's almost like TCU's a good football team, okay? I really like their offensive coordinator. They brought in a new offensive coordinator, brought him from UConn. Without knowing much about, I think his name is Gordon Samus. Without knowing much about him, I just really liked UConn's offense the last few years as far as what they were able to do based on the talent they had. So, like, I'm not saying this is a game that UNC has to win. I'm not anywhere close to putting it on a must-win for Carolina this year. But I am putting it on a must-show fight and aggression. Must bind together as a team and fight back regardless of what happens. Because the like last year, the results were tough for Carolina. Let's not beat around the bush, right? 4-8 with the money they're spending, with the coaches they have, with all of that. 4-8 is not something anybody's going to be happy about. But it was almost like the body language was worse. You know what I mean? Watching guys on the sideline, for those of you that attended any games in person, watching like the offense give up a touchdown, the defense give up a touchdown and have guys walk to the sideline and have a few walk to the far end of the field, right? A few take off their helmets and undo their chin straps with all this dramatic aggression, rather than everybody to their spots where they sit, coaches immediately fixing it, veterans talking to youngsters. Like, instead of all of that happening, there was a body language thing. I don't know if that stood out to anyone else, but it stood out to me. And it is a must fix all of that week 1 or week 0 for Carolina. Obviously, you want to win, right? And you want to be competitive against a good team. And TCU, I want to say in the last 4 or 5 years, has won the most games in the Big 12. They've been to a national championship. They got smacked, but they reached a national championship game. They've got a lot going for them. Carolina has to really show that the culture things maybe that left you feeling a bit empty last year have been solved. And then get the run game going to take pressure off of Billy Edwards Jr. and make sure Jordan Shipp gets to be an X factor for you, and get Ben Hall going in the run game. Like, there's a lot of things. Melkar Abu-Jaude has to be felt on passing downs as an edge rusher, and all of those things also have to take place. But just the team sport things also need to be cleaned up. Dennis, I know I asked you to be the tourism bureau for Charlottesville.
Sure.
Ever been to Ireland? Anything you can tell us about that one?
No.
Okay. All right. Never mind then. Neither have I. Okay. Got lineage to Ireland. Does that count?
As do I, actually.
All right. See? They're back in the homeland. The jerseys were revealed. Carolina's jerseys always look clean. They didn't do a ton of the custom jerseys for Ireland. They put the little Ireland flag right on the front of the helmet. TCU worked a little shamrock into the logo on the helmet.
Nice.
I kind of get Carolina though. They're why would we mess with our jerseys too much? Our colors are awesome. Our jerseys are clean. We don't need shamrocks. I do kind of wish they leaned into it a bit more, but it is what it is.
I do like the subtlety, though, of the UNC, like you mentioned, with the green, the white, orange UNC on the front there of the helmet. It's subtle, but I like it. I dig it.
What if they had some kind of Ireland colors player-exclusive Jordans?
Now we're talking.
I'm just thinking what the recruits. I'm thinking what the players want.
Now we're talking.
All I'm thinking. That is number 2. That game, again, noon our time, but it's being played in Dublin on Saturday. Number 2. Let's get to number 1.
The one!
The news of the day The ACC Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution directing the commissioner to enforce certain eligibility requirements when an athlete seeks to return to collegiate participation after intentionally pursuing a professional career. It is a very similar structure of a rule as we've seen from the Big Ten, the Big 12, and the SEC, preventing players that have signed professional contracts, players that have been on professional rosters, players that have intentionally declared for the draft and not withdrawn their name ahead of the draft by the necessary time frame. Those players are not eligible to play in the ACC. I do want to clarify something because I have been saying throughout the show they've fallen in line with the other power conferences. They are very similar in rules to the other power conferences. There is one significant difference that I failed to notice that I do want to pass along to you. Ross Dellinger points this out, very good investigative reporter for Yahoo Sports. All of the power leagues now have the rule in place, at least for football. Their structure of the rules are all very similar, but which sports they apply to are different. The Big Ten has written this rule and approved this rule just for football. So their basketball players take on a different, or maybe no rules, right? Like they can still have professional players come back. The SEC and now the ACC, football as well as men's and women's basketball, but all other sports are not included under the newly approved rule. The Big 12 has applied it to the entire athletics landscape. So all sports are included in the Big 12. I think that's a fascinating little change there. And I'm wondering if the Big 12 might regret it a little bit because like baseball and hockey already have such unique structures with how they deal with professional contracts and being drafted. And it's just very different from football and basketball as the gigantic revenue sports. Maybe the Big 12 saying like, we don't care about hockey, we're not around, but like you definitely declare, or Big 12, do they even have hockey? They might not. Okay, so there you go. That's why they're not worried about it. Because hockey, you definitely declare for the draft and then go play in college because you get drafted and then you can continue to play in college. It's just part of that sport. So it's all very different there. But the Big Ten, just football, SEC, ACC, football, as well as men's and women's basketball, Big 12, all sports under this rule that they are going to attempt to enforce. We'll see if it's upheld in the court system with the onslaught of lawsuits that I'm sure are being drawn up and getting ready to be filed. But for the moment, the ACC will not be accepting the players that were playing in the NFL preseason not that long ago and are now looking to go back to college. The players that signed contracts, two-way contracts, Exhibit 10 contracts with NBA teams and are now looking to go back and play in college. For the meantime, ACC will be banning those players. Dennis, how do you see this impacting things moving forward? Do you think this will affect the Van Allen Lubins, the Seth Trimble, some of the guys that we know from years in the triangle that are attempting to get that fifth year of eligibility?
Based off everything we've read, it feels like that Van Allen Lubin, NC State men's basketball should be good.
Okay.
Should be good to play this. Okay. Based off everything that we've read, everything that we know currently, who the hell knows? Now, the question that I have, though, is what about Seth Trimble, formerly of UNC with Louisville? Because part of that agreement of the board of directors, this unanimous agreement by all the ACC schools, part of that is also NBA Summer League. And the NBA Summer League saying anyone that maybe signed an Exhibit 10 contract, a two-way contract, or any agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem. Like, for example, the Washington Wizards, whom Seth Trimble played in the Summer League earlier, just this last month, if they said, hey, your travel accommodations, like your expenses, so we will fly you, we will put you in a hotel, and we will feed you. And as long as you don't give them anything beyond that, based off the ACC saying that's fine. But it could have been, hey, we'll give you like $2,000 on top of your per diem and travel expenses and those kinds of things. Well, then that breaks this. So again, how do you hold that up in court? It's going to be pretty fascinating.
I said this earlier. I've never wished that I, as a hobby, went to law school more than like this week, just so I would be able to know, like, oh, is there a collusion argument here? Is that like, this is not my words, but there was a actually I want to make sure I get it correct. The term cartel was used.
Okay.
Ross Dellinger, again, Yahoo Sports, tweeted this. Ryan Downton, one of the attorneys representing, this was 2 days ago, one of the attorneys representing players in the Louisiana case tells Yahoo Sports that the NCAA should be held in contempt of court for permitting conferences under its purview to blatantly violate court orders, and he plans to file such a motion. Separately, Downton says attorneys are considering the appropriate legal response to hold the Big Ten and SEC accountable for their cartel-like coordination with the NCAA. Close quote. Now, that was when the Big Ten and the SEC were the only teams that had formally approved these rules. Since then, the Big 12 and ACC also have, which I can only imagine attorneys like Downton are imagining or are assuming is even more cartel-like. Because now these players who at times have had courts say you are definitely allowed to go back and play in college, and they filed injunctions and temporary restraining orders to make sure, are now being told there's no power conference that will take you, or there's no power conference team that is allowed to take you. If they thought it was cartel-like, and that's, by the way, I imagine just an unbelievable over-exaggeration. But if they thought it was cartel-like when it was just 2 conferences, 2 of the 4 power conferences, what are they going to think when it's 4 of the 4 power conferences? Has Notre Dame said anything yet?
No. I wonder how football applies with them in this.
What if Notre Dame football is just like, we'll take all the pros. We'll take them all. Nah. If they want to be even less liked. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I wish I knew more. I really do. But we'll keep you updated as more information comes out on that. I'm assuming more lawyers and law experts will make their opinions known, and we'll do our best to sort through it all and give you only the good stuff. Here's some good stuff for you. The Starting Five was brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Trust the team that's been doing good work for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing the Carolinas since 1915. We will be grabbing some numbers game contestants, but before we can do that, Tim Donnelly here for Kalshi. College football is back. So back. Extra back. The most back. And so are the predictions. Who makes the playoffs? Who wins the conference? Who wins the individual awards? Who wins the whole darn thing? On Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, you can trade those predictions and many, many more in a live market. How about this, everybody? You go back to the 25th of August, just a couple days ago. NC State was trading at 34% to beat Virginia in Week 0. They are currently trading at 37% to beat Virginia in Week 0. What that means is a $100 trade would pay out, let's make sure we get this accurate here, would pay out about $258 and change. But if you would have placed a $100 trade on NC State 2 days ago and watched that probability go from 34 to 37%, you could trade out and take that little bit of profit there, that couple percentage of profits, and that's just yours. You don't have to wait for the game or the result if the probability is moving in the direction you want to get that payout, to get that little bit of profit. That is one of the beauties of Kalshi being a live market rather than a situation where there's a house, right? The house money. So as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position. So trade the draft pick, the game, and more on Kalshi. Right now, I'll do a little extra something special for you. Download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD, my first name and my last initial with no spaces, TIMD. to get $20 when you trade $20. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory. Gambling problem, call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. Now we need those numbers game contestants I was talking about. The prize for today, a $25 Autobell car wash gift card. So if you want to win the gift card, if you want to win the glory that comes with a numbers game victory, and if you want to do better than the two guys yesterday that did 0 out of 10 combined, call in now, 919-860-5326. I'm kidding. We joke out of love. Everybody that calls in is awesome, but we are competitive and we want more than 0. 919-860-5326. Please call in now. Numbers game up next.
Move your sports day forward.
Carolina Panthers, it's not just keep pounding, but keep fighting. I love a good training camp fight. It's better to get that stuff out of the way now than during the regular season when it costs you 15 yards in a good situation. It also shows to the league you want to be a physical team, when a couple of years ago you were being questioned about it.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Plenty of companies will sell you a new roof. Fewer will tell you if you actually need one. Since 1915, people across the Carolinas have trusted the Baker name to do right by their homes. Baker Home Exteriors now does roofing, siding, windows, and doors, and always honest advice. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's earned it for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors. Visit bakerhomeexteriors.com.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newcomb & Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company. Your comfort is our business.
If you have a 2, 3, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. Hey, it's Dennis Cox. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000, paid off all their credit cards, paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and saved over $1,500 per month. It gets better. There's no hard credit pull up front, usually no appraisal, no long drawn-out process, and listen, no closing costs. You may be able to even skip your next 2 house payments. Call Loan Pronto now. Leave your low-rate mortgage intact, but get the cash you need in as little as 2 weeks without paying closing costs. LoanPronto.com. See how much you can get right now. Call 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. For qualified homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. The contestants for today are Hunter in Raleigh and Jason in Clayton, and they'll be battling it out with jersey number trivia to see who gets the $25 Autobell car wash gift card to get their car spick and span. But first, we have to find out who goes first. So we'll bring them each onto the show, ask them the same question. Dennis will be the judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first, and we'll advance from there. Hunter and Raleigh, we'll start with you. Hunter, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So the ACC passed a rule today that says professional athletes cannot go back and play in college. Probably didn't even think they needed that rule in the past, but they passed one today. I don't know who your favorite team is, but pick your favorite college team and pick one alumni if this rule wasn't in effect and they said, actually, all professional athletes can come back. So any point in time, you get to pick any professional athlete that went to your favorite school to come back and play for them. Who are you picking and why?
I would say I'm a North Carolina Tar Heel fan, and I would say bring back Lawrence Taylor.
All right. Any follow-ups?
No questions.
Okay, let's roll to Jason and Clayton. Jason, are you there?
Yes, I am.
All right. In honor of the ACC saying professional athletes cannot go back and play in the ACC, I'm going to say, well, let's do the exact opposite. You can bring back any one alumni from your favorite college team to play for your college team from any point in its history. Who are you picking and why?
I would say I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. I would probably say, I'm an old school guy, so I would probably go into like Jim Kelly range, just, slinging that ball.
All right. Bringing back Jim Kelly. Take that, Darian Mensah. Dennis, who are you rolling with? Hunter and Raleigh, who's bringing Lawrence Taylor back to UNC to play for his old ball coach, his old coordinator, Bill Belichick? Right. Or Jason and Clayton, who said, I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, and he's old school, so he wants Jim Kelly to come take Darian Mensah's spot.
That's actually a tough one. Jim Kelly is actually quite the pull there for Miami. I believe the correct answer you're looking for is Julius Peppers at Carolina because he can play both football and basketball.
That's true.
But I'll go Lawrence Taylor on this one.
All right. I'll
stick with the local one.
As soon as he said he was a UNC fan, I was like, here comes Michael Jordan. And then Lawrence Taylor. Not a bad pick in its own right.
Not a bad pick at all.
Not a bad pick in its own right.
But again, Julius Peppers, I get two sports.
True. Ronald Curry, same thing.
It's true.
So Hunter and Raleigh gets to go first, correct? That's the one you picked?
That is correct. We'll go Hunter and Raleigh.
Hunter and Raleigh. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Let's go ahead and have you pick a category. NFL players that were born in late August, Major League Baseball players that are switch hitters, NBA players that at one point in time or another were teammates of Garrett Temple, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Let's do NFL players in August.
All right, players with late August birthdays. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. There will be 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope, we're good to go.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Ravens.
32.
Incorrect. Robert Hunt, Carolina Panthers.
Could be.
Correct. Taysom Hill, New Orleans Saints.
7.
Correct. Rashid Shaheed, Seattle Seahawks.
17.
Incorrect. Jamal Lewis, Baltimore Ravens.
31.
Correct. Larry Fitzgerald, Arizona Cardinals.
11.
Correct. Rashid Shaheed, Seattle Seahawks.
14.
Incorrect. Rashid Shaheed, Seattle Seahawks.
18.
You're kind of moving in the right direction. He has a tough receiver number. 22 is what we were looking for Rashid Shaheed. But 4 out of 5 is a very solid number. You got Jamal Lewis with 31. You got Robert Hunt with 50. Taysom Hill with 7. And Larry Fitz with 11. We'll see if it holds up. Go ahead and stay on the line, okay?
All right.
All right. That brings us to our Miami Hurricanes fan, Jason and Clayton. Jason, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are Major League Baseball, switch hitters, NBA players, Garrett Temple's teammates, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Ooh, tough one. Let's try MLB switch hitters.
All right. All players in Major League Baseball that are switch hitters. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. You do need all 5 for the win, but you have the entire clock to do so. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Ellie De La Cruz, Cincinnati Reds.
77.
Incorrect. Francisco Lindor, New York Mets.
21.
Incorrect. Ellie De La Cruz, Cincinnati Reds.
34.
Incorrect. Francisco Lindor, New York Mets.
Oh, man. 21.
Incorrect. Ellie De La Cruz, Cincinnati Reds.
Pass.
Jose Ramirez, Cleveland Guardians.
31.
Incorrect. Francisco Lindor, New York Mets.
11.
Incorrect.
Terrible.
I will say
terrible.
sometimes offers I can tell people have no clue. Yours gave me the gist that you knew something, right? Because 77 for Ellie De La Cruz, we were looking for 44. And just being a general high double sounds kind of similar. You went 21 for Lindor twice, and we're looking for 12, like the right numbers. Like
I had it backwards.
There's something there. Jose Ramirez, you weren't close. We needed 11 or 62. But I don't know if it makes you feel any better. It seemed like you were just
It's
close.
all good,
You were
my
close,
friend.
even though you weren't. That's a 0. Unfortunately, not enough for the win, but hopefully you had some fun.
I appreciate it.
That brings us to
Is Lindor, because he's 12, is he 21 if he hits on the other side of the plate? Is that what he's thinking maybe?
Hey, that
just saying.
That's true. You
saying.
flip around.
Like Jose Ramirez wears 11. I mean, that's just either side. Same with De La Cruz, 44, either side.
21 looking in the mirror, right? Like that's the way it goes. That's actually a funny point to make. Not a funny point to make, a just good point to make is Hunter in Raleigh gets the $25 Autobell Car Wash gift card. Congratulations, Hunter.
Thank you.
You were one away from the perfect score, but plenty for the win. So congratulations on that. Stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize.
Awesome. Thank you.
There you go. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. While Dennis is grabbing that info, we'll take a short break. When we come back, joint practices yesterday for the Panthers, preseason game tomorrow for the Panthers. What's important in this middle section? Stick around. Coming up next.
Having Canty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
The NCAA could have been the bus driver on this. They could have taken control and been the adult in the room a long time ago. And they kept kicking the can down the road, and they just have never been big picture thinkers or been the leaders that they need to be, which is why we have issue after issue after issue, with 5 for 5 and the timing of this being the latest.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's bow time.
It's time to celebrate Global Golf Raleigh's anniversary sale August 24th to the 29th. Save $50 off purchases of $300 and $125 on $600. Plus pre-owned Vokey wedges starting at $89.99 and take 20% off golf bags. Also get a huge 50% trade-in bonus towards your next upgrade. Visit the Global Golf Outlet at 7320 ACC Boulevard in North Raleigh. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. Global Golf, home of the best deals in golf. Some exclusions apply. In-store offers only.
Rev up your summer at the Make This the Summer event going on now at John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Grab summer adventures when you drive home a brand new 2026 Ram 1500 for 20% off. Excludes RHO. See dealer for details. Or expand your options for off-road exploration with a new 2026 Jeep Gladiator. Save 15% off during the Make This the Summer event. Plus, get 2.9% financing for 72 months. So get off your keister and get to John Heister Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington today.
Megatron must be stopped, no matter the cost.
You got the touch. You got the power.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We do have Overdrive coming up today. Haven't had it the last few days. There's been Wolfpack Weekly. Was on Monday. We had Panther Talk. So the not every day right now because we have all the coaches shows and everything. But we do have it today coming up at 6. So stick around for that. We'll be talking ACC news. We'll be talking with Mike Glennon. Dennis, I hear the Transformer stuff going on in the headsets.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Explain why.
Throw away your life so recklessly?
I can't appropriately.
That's a question you should ask yourself, Megatron.
I can't appropriately talk about the legacy of what's going on here, so please do so.
Unfortunately, they say when it comes to celebrities and people passing, it comes in threes. But we had the third today. It's Peter Cullen, the voice of Optimus Prime. From those, I'm talking from like literally the year I was born, 1986, up until like modern day. And he was Eeyore in Winnie the Pooh. He was the voice actor of Eeyore. Did a whole bunch of other stuff as well. But he passed away. The news of that broke earlier today, and obviously most famously known for being the voice of Optimus Prime. Not only the cartoon, but in the movies and such. Just fantastic voice actor. It's a bummer. Mm-hmm. It really is a bummer because 2 days ago we had Dolly Parton. Yesterday it was Tim Curry. And then now it's Peter Cullen passing away as well. So shout out to Peter Cullen and obviously all the impact that he had on not just myself as a childhood, but like he brought like the voice of Optimus Prime to life. And that was just so cool to see. He actually had a voice. I forget what character it was in Voltron. So it just... Talk about a legacy of voice actors.
I was going to say, I'm kind of fascinated by the voice acting, like torch passing, because like, I mean, even going back to like the Bugs Bunnies and everything, like they're those guys forever. But obviously, cartoons stick around, longer than any of us. And somebody else just is like, hey, I can sound exactly like that person, and it keeps going. But the blueprint is left by whoever kind of does it first, right?
Like Kevin Conroy, Batman.
Sure. Can you name like all of the voice actors?
Can I name all of them?
No, like is that something? I don't know. It's one thing that I don't really think of when I watch like a movie or like when I watch Transformers. I don't think of the voice actor. Well, obviously, it's part of the story. I'm not saying it's like unimportant. It's just I didn't know if that's something that you're obviously more into comic books than I am. I was like, is that like me naming football coaches? You're just like, when I watch a team I like, I find out who the coach is.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that because obviously just how quality of what, like someone can, again, just take an image on a screen and turn it into life with their voice. Like what's his name that played Uncle Phil was the voice.
James Avery?
Yeah, James Avery was the voice of the Shredder in the original Ninja Turtles.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Uncle Phil.
Yeah, Uncle Phil. That was him.
Uncle Phil's a legend.
I know. That's part of his legacy. He was the Shredder.
I didn't know that. See, the things you know. You learn something new every day. Obviously, rest in peace, passing along all thoughts and support and everything to his community and all those that he knew and loved. The drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Yesterday, Houston Texans and the Carolina Panthers had a joint practice. Extremely physical. Coaches instructed their guys to get after it. The starters not expected to play in tomorrow's preseason game featuring the same two teams because they got what they needed to get done in the joint practice. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud. We started this conversation earlier before the ACC breaking news. Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud are going to forever be linked, right? When quarterbacks are drafted first and second in a draft, it's forever you guys are mentioned, right? Even if one goes on to be one of the 4 best quarterbacks of all time and one becomes one of the most notable busts, quote unquote, of all time, you're still linked forever, right? Ryan Leaf is still brought up when Peyton Manning is brought up quite often. And their careers have gone about as different as you can possibly go. So Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, there's to me 3 conversations about them that are constantly being evaluated. 1, who's had the best career to this point. 2, who's the best right now. 3, who's going to have the best career when it's all said and done. Specifically, who's going to have the best career when it's all said and done by the team that drafted him, right? Because that's really how you judge draft decisions. Baker Mayfield is not like, oh, the Browns knew what they were doing. Like it's the Browns still didn't win that one. I think it's closer than a lot of people would say between Stroud and Bryce. I don't say that as necessarily a gigantic compliment to Bryce, but I will say this. Right now, I believe C.J. Stroud is ahead on the cards on all 3. I think he's had the better career. His rookie season was impressive. Last year, he put some things together until the postseason they came unglued. He had a rough year in the middle, but he has shown beyond a shadow of a doubt he can be better than what we've seen Bryce be for any kind of consistent period of time. Who's better right now? I think that one's probably the closest of the 3. Who's going to have the most success over their career? I look at incubator. I look at support as much as I look at the player in those scenarios. And I just think the Houston Texans are set up more to not ask their quarterback to do much. Right? And if I have a quarterback who's through 3 years, I'm not sure if I want to give them a contract extension. I definitely don't want to be in year number 4, asking them to throw an entire NFL franchise on their shoulders. But tell me the Panthers aren't one running back or one offensive line injury away from saying, Bryce, you got to McGruber this bad boy. You got to put it together for us. And if you look at what the Texans are doing, their offensive line was horrendous last year as well, but they invested a little bit in it, and they have the benefit of having one of the best defenses in the NFL. Right? They have the benefit of telling their quarterback and actually meaning it. We might be able to punt and field position our way to a win here. So just, if you don't like what you see, throw it away. If you don't like what you see, take the sack. You don't have to force anything. And that frees up a quarterback in a different way. So up to this point, CJ Stroud has been more productive. Right now, if you say who's better, I still take Stroud because I've seen it, but I think it's closer than a lot would admit. Moving forward, who's going to have the better career for the team that drafted him? I think that's Stroud, but that's not just on the quarterbacks. That is also on what they're being asked to do, who's helping them, right? We could go position by position through the offense. I would give a starting offensive line lean towards the Panthers. Obviously, that all changes with an injury or two. I would give wide receivers to the Texans right now. I think Nico Collins is better than Tedero McMillan at the moment. That could flip, don't get me wrong, and it probably will at some point. But you look at they just added Kayshon Boutte.
Tank Dell's back.
Tank Dell is back, although I've heard perhaps still needs some time to get back to where he was health-wise. But they have Jalen Noel, who they drafted high. They have Jaden Higgins coming back next year, who they drafted high. They have Dalton Schultz, who I believe at tight end is the number 1 draft pick if you put all the players on both teams into a pool, number 1 draft pick at tight end. Running back, I would take the Texans combo of David Montgomery and Woody Marks over the combo of Chuba Hubbard and the wild card of Jonathan Brooks. So, it's one of those deals where if you give me 3 paragraphs to decide who I like, if you give me 3 pages to write who I decide I like, I think it could be close. But the less and less time you allow me to explain, the more and more it just becomes CJ Stroud, right? Because with 3 pages, I'll go, well, if you gave Carolina, if you gave Bryce Young the defense that Houston has and maybe DeMeco Ryans and the way he rebuilt it, and if you gave him the running game, and if you gave him this, and if you gave him that, and if you gave him the postseason experience he's already had, then yeah, maybe we could talk about Bryce making a jump. But if you don't give me 3 pages to explain it, if you say I need a name, who's better, CJ Stroud or Bryce Young? The answer, I think, is CJ Stroud. Call me a hater for it. We've seen some of these competitions go back and forth, right? I think Andrew Luck, RG3 is an interesting one, right? RG3 had a whirlwind rookie year. Andrew Luck ended up being the one you want at the end. And then they both were out of the league way earlier than any of us thought. I mean, realistically, who was the right option from that draft? Russell Wilson. He was picked on.
There's that. That's true.
Picked, whatever it was, day 3. 3rd or 4th pick, maybe day 2. 3rd or 4th round pick. Mariota and Jameis Winston. I mean, you could have gone year by year. I think you might have taken a different one as the answer to these questions. So they're going to be linked. We're going to be doing this for the rest of their career as long as they're both in it and then maybe beyond. It's ironic because, after watching a joint or seeing a joint practice, they weren't even on the same field, yet they were the two probably being compared the most. Right? They're one was on the offense field, one was on the defense field, obviously. I think Stroud's the answer, but in certain ways it's closer than you think. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Tomorrow we will have so much going on. The Panthers will have their preseason game, and there's roster decisions to be made. Wide receivers, how many do they keep? Which ones do they keep? Who's contributing on special teams? So many questions there. And then on top of that, we'll be getting ready for week 0. There will be real live. They count college football games on Saturday, and 2 of them featuring teams that play right here in the Triangle. I'm very much looking forward to tomorrow's show. Hopefully you are as well, but that doesn't mean you should zoom through Overdrive, right? It's like, don't wish for fall. We're still enjoying summer. We'll talk about the ACC, the breaking news, the rule that they have unanimously approved as a conference to help ban the eligibility, I don't know, like pirates, like these people trying to steal eligibility out of the middle of the night. The ACC has approved a ban on that. You'll hear more about it next. And a conversation with Mike Glennon from earlier today. So enjoy Overdrive. Enjoy your evening. We have football to talk about tomorrow. Until then, have a great night, everybody.
The NFL kicks off September 9th.
There goes Tommy down the right sideline across midfield. Tommy Tremble with the Thunder. Touchdown! Touchdown! Chicago's caught a touchdown pass.
On 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Bryce Magic is real, and Coker has played the game of his life.
Presented by Fairway Green and Wake Med.
Gotta love it.
I'm glad you agreed to this date, Mr. First Tuesday.
Oh, me too, but I have to admit something. I've never been on a first date.
But you are a date, and first is in your name.
Yeah, I guess I've just been married to my work, you know? Spreading the news about new scratch-offs coming out every first Tuesday.
New scratch-offs release every first Tuesday?
Wait, you don't know about new scratch-off tickets that come out Okay. Well, okay. You got me.
Must be 18 to play. Problem Gambling Helpline, 877-718-5543.
Hey, this is Luke with Newcomb & Company. We're a residential, commercial, plumbing, HVAC company who's been serving the community for over 70 years. Honesty is the biggest policy around here. You know, we take pride in everything we do, anything we touch. We're not one of those companies that come in, throw it in, and then you can't get a hold of them again. We're there with you hand in hand. Here at Newcomb & Company, what stands apart from other companies is we actually do more than just AC and heat pumps. We do boilers, geothermals, furnaces, radiant floor, anything that is odds and ends that nobody else can touch is what we thrive on. At Newcomb & Company, we do same-day service. That's also another thing that helps us stand apart from other places is we do same-day service because we have enough professionals to get out to these houses to solve what the problems are. And we're on 24/7 on emergency basis, weekends, nights, holidays, you name it, we're there.
Newcomb & Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcombandcompany.com. Newcomb & Company, your comfort is our business.
At Allstate, we know second chances are important to you, so they're important to us. That's why with Allstate's accident forgiveness, your rate won't go up just because of an accident, even if it was your fault. So while you might find yourself wondering, how long will this take or what will this cost? You won't have to question your rate after an accident. If it's important to you, it's important to us. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Not available in every state. Optional policy feature terms apply. Allstate North American Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the end of summer sale at AutoZone. We're celebrating the end of long days and short nights with big deals for a short time. Like on Wash and Wax, you can get 3 Meguiar's products for just $20. Need new brakes? Duralast brake pads are free with the purchase of Duralast rotors. We've also got oil deals and more. We're ending the summer right with the end of summer sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Ritchie Law is on top of it.
That one back, that one going, gone!
Go to RitchieLaw.com.
That's RitchieLaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader. It's 6 o'clock. Time to shift into overdrive. All highlights, no filler. As we run it back from the drive with Tim Donnelly.
Dennis, I feel like something's going on in there.
Yeah, we actually some breaking news. We actually need to cut in from this, Tim. This actually from the ACC Board of Directors. This actually was just released literally 2 minutes ago. ACC Board directs conference-wide eligibility enforcement. I'm just going to read this verbatim. This is my first time reading this, Tim. So live reaction here. The ACC Board of Directors unanimously adopted a resolution directing the commissioner to enforce certain eligibility requirements when an athlete seeks to return to college participation after intentionally pursuing a professional career. Under the resolution, an ACC member institution is not permitted to include an individual on its football or men's or women's basketball roster when that individual has previously declared for an NBA, NFL, or WNBA draft and did not appropriately withdraw consistent with NCAA requirements to retain eligibility, signed a contract with the NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, or WNBA, or affiliate, or any team that is a member of any such league. For the NBA Summer League, a contract means an Exhibition 10, a two-way contract, or an agreement providing for compensation beyond expenses and a per diem, or been listed on any roster for an NFL or other professional football league, NBA, G League, or WNBA, or affiliate team. The board's actions reflect the NCAA's commitment to preserving college sports as an opportunity for college students that is clearly distinct from professional sports, protecting opportunities for current and future student athletes, and promoting competitive equity. As the eligibility landscape continues to evolve, the ACC will remain steadfast in its support for standards that are consistent with the educational mission of college athletics. There you go. Very similar to what the SEC wrote.
Can you read that one more time?
Yeah,
no,
sure. I got you.
I'm kidding.
I could.
I know you could. It is very similar to what we've seen from the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12. Which means we'll have the same questions about it that we had about those, which is, can you enforce it, right? There's going to be attempts by lawyers, by students. Matt Moscana of the Louisiana Sportsnet down there in Louisiana tweeted out today that the 33 players involved in the Louisiana lawsuit to find their eligibility